Coldplay, The Scientist. Have you seen the video of that?
Great, it's just brilliant.
I think I might have worked out. What is, he's walking backwards, it's all filmed backwards, but he's singing forward. Now, the only way I can work out they've done it, without CGI in it and cheating with the lips, is that he had to learn it backwards and did it sort of like bit by bit. Did he do that?
He was on Zoe's show like about a week ago or something, and so he sang it backwards.
So he learned phrases and they filmed that.
Yeah.
But he didn't learn the whole song, did he? He couldn't possibly have learned the whole song. He must have, like, stopped it and...
Don't know.
It's a great video, though. They always do a good video.
No, it's very good indeed.
So it was, yeah, The Scientist on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington.
I had a bit of good news this morning.
Go on.
I was on the tube coming down, and, I don't want to sound arrogant, I don't want to sound pushy, but, I was at Green Park, and I'm fairly certain, Rick, it's not 100% corroborated, I'm fairly certain that a woman pinched my arse. So what do you think of that? Yes.
There's a lot of pickpockets around Green Park.
No, my wallet was still there.
Really?
But even if it wasn't, you know, that would have been money well spent. But but the wallet was still there, so what do you think of them apples? Eh?
So what did she just pinch your arse?
I can't confirm it at this stage, exactly what happened, but it certainly felt like a pinch. I looked round, there was a woman behind me.
Right.
She was fairly old. I think she's probably in her mid-30s.
Right.
Kind of reddish hair.
Right.
I don't know if she's listening.
Right.
But, she knows where I am. And, so I don't know how to proceed, really, Rick. I don't know if it's worth putting up some posters around the Green Park area.
Well, what you could
just to try and corroborate it. If you saw a woman pinch the lanky guy's arse,
you could probably get in, contact with British Rail and go back over their CCTV
CCTV cameras, yeah.
And then they could probably zoom in and, you know, sort of identifying sort of birthmarks or she might have been holding something.
But I could hire a private eye. Yeah. Again, money well spent.
Well, so there you go.
You know, I'm just saying maybe maybe things are looking up.
Things
are getting towards Christmas.
The worm has turned.
I mean, you know, it's a little, sexy story to get the show going.
It is
but
pretty
what do you make of that then, Carl?
What do you think of that,
you're quite damning. What's your answer?
Well, I mean, you're quite a tall fella.
Sure.
So, she must have really wanted to sort of reach up and have a pinch.
Hmm.
Do you know
you think
she was a dwarf?
She did it with her teeth.
He didn't say she was a dwarf.
No, but Steve's taller than, you know, his arse.
Yeah, but his arse isn't 6'9", is it? His arse is about 3 foot off the floor.
4 foot?
What?
4 foot off the floor?
No, I don't think so. About 3. She'd have to be a midget to have to reach up to pinch Steve's arse. He is very tall, but...
I don't know what your point is there, Carl. You're just trying to, you're just, I think maybe just a little bit jealous. Just a little bit of jealousy.
Well, do you know what happened to me on the way in?
Go on.
A homeless person called me a dickhead.
How did he know? Do you know him? Is that what?
He's like the local big issue fella.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he knows me, he sees me walking up and down the street.
Oh, that's how he knew you.
Right. So normally I have a bit of a chat with him and that. And I walk past him. And, you know, I can be a little bit cheeky with him, because I've been cheeky with him in the past, with stuff.
You pinched his arse?
No, just, you know, saying stuff like, God, you're always there, you got home to go to, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
no,
just breaking the ice, go on.
He knows, and he'd laughed at that, right, last time, so I thought I can be a bit cheeky, right? So he goes, do you want a big issue? I said, no. He said, come on, I've got loads of them, right? So I sort of said, when I was a kid, and I used to do a free paper around the free papers one, I said, just put them in the bin and go home, right? And he went, yeah, but how am I going to get any money doing that, you dickhead?
You see, I can see his point. He is homeless and having to sell newspapers to get 50p or a quid or whatever.
Yeah, and sometimes I treat him, right? And today I didn't have any money. I had a takeaway last night, and I normally give them a quid, and I felt bad not being able to do that because I didn't have any money on me last night.
Right.
I couldn't look him in the eye.
Did you explain this to the homeless person, the traumas of the takeaway without the tip? Did you explain that, you know, you've had it hard as well? I go, look, you don't
I had food delivered to my warm flat.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
You don't know what that's like. You don't know what the trauma is because you can't have food delivered to your flat because you haven't got one. So please don't look at me like that. You should have said.
But most people ignore him. At least I gave him a bit of acknowledgement and sort of...
took the mick.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was. I just was being friendly.
No, I know.
You gotta be careful with the homeless, because this is true, and this is, you know when the clocks went back recently?
Yeah.
So you got an extra hour in bed?
Yeah.
And, I was at Cash Point with a friend of mine, and there was a homeless person sat by the Cash Point, and, you know, we would get some money out, and she said, spare some change. And my friend's, he's a bit awkward, he just trying to make conversation with her, he went, oh, clocks go back? Extra hour in bed?
Oh no.
I gave her £2. I felt so bad. He didn't do it intentionally. He didn't realise what he'd said. Just making conversation. It's tricky making conversation with the homeless, because there's so many areas you've got to avoid. You know, what was on the telly.
Yeah.
You know.
Although I get recognised by homeless people, and I don't know where.
Well, you got to remember that's very much your demographic, Rick.
Yeah.
You know, people who watch TV through the window of Dixon's.
In Dixon's. Yeah, there was the Ricky Gervais as well.
Yeah. Well, they can smell the alcohol on you. They think you're one of them.
Oh, I've had to cut down on that. I've been really good with this training thing.
The boxing.
Play a record and I'll tell you about that. I had my first week of training. I'm in trouble. I'm struggling.
What do you want to play?
Oh, we've got a bit of, have we? Stone Roses, classic.
Feeder, come back around. XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Alright? Yeah, so I had my first week of training for this, charity boxing. For those who don't know, I'm fighting Grant Bovey, Anthea Turner's husband. It sounds arbitrary, but it's actually because he's, at 41 and about my weight, a bit taller, I think. But, and we've never done it before, but, no, it'd be fun. Battling someone for charity.
Yes.
No, but, it's, and I can't believe my luck, because I've been a fight fan for like 30 years, and they took me shopping, they bought me all the gear, and, the training's great. It's really hard. I mean, it's, I imagine it'd be really hard, and it's probably slightly harder than I imagined. And the only bit I like, so I don't like all the exercise and all the stuff you've got to do. I like the bits that look a bit like something I've seen in a Rocky film.
Right, sure.
You know, we did that thing with the string along the ring, and I have to pop up and punch, and that was great.
Right, nice.
Skipping's not bad. I'm trying to get good at that. I like that ball that you go.
Are you any good at that? Is that?
I'm getting good at it.
And what's that teaching you, that particular thing? It's just the rhythm, is it?
It's rhythm, and of course your arms are up for that long, so you've got to keep your guard up all the time.
Yeah.
So that teaches you to keep your arms up.
And you were, up at 6 this morning, you broke some raw eggs into a cup, and then you ran up the steps of the town hall, didn't you? I know.
With loads of people following me, and I shouted, Bovey! at the top. No, I'm not going mad. Just, you know, once every other day. But I'm struggling now. I woke up today, and it's like I'd been hit by a car.
Yeah.
Just everything aches, so the muscles you haven't used. But, anyway, I had a meeting, the first time with the people, the program makers, because they're following me for a month and everything, and Grant as well. And they said, you need a sort of nickname, just for a laugh. And I went, what's Grant using? They said, I think it's gonna use Gorgeous Grant Bovey, or Grant. I went, I don't know, so I better go against that. What about, Ricky Jippo Gervais?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And, yeah, so, anyway, I had a freaking with Frank Maloney meeting the next day, and, it's sort of, you know, you've got to do this nickname, and the bloke said, we checked out that name, you can't call yourself Jippo. I went, well, of course I can't, I was joking. He went, well, I said, well, it's racist, I was joking, I was making a joke about me, and he went, I don't know. And then, I went down to get the, buy all the gear from this shop.
They'd have the dressing gown made?
Yeah. And I was picking all the stuff, I was going, look, that's like Naz wore. Oh, look, that's like Ali wore and I'm going, I'll have that, picking all the gear and everything. And, there was a couple of boxers down there, sort of like looking at me, thinking, who's that fat bloke taking up boxing at 40? And, I said, I wasn't. And, bloke went, yeah, how you doing? I went, yeah, so how long have you been in the game? He said, I've been boxing 20 years. So how many fights you had? He said, about 40. I said, yeah, help me, I've got to think of a nickname. And I thought, Ricky Balboa Gervais. He went, right. I went, or Ricky Marciano Gervais. He looked at me and went, what about Ricky Martin? Oh dear.
Absolutely justified.
Yeah, I'm not respected yet in the boxing world.
No, sure.
But I mean,
it's only a matter of time. Once they see you fight, Rick, everything's gonna change. So, have you actually punched anyone yet? Have you actually?
No, I haven't punched person. I punched pads, and I punched the bag, and I've sort of sparred and that.
I know you're gonna get a chance to punch someone.
As I suspected, my punching power's alright, but my fitness is, I mean, it felt like I was smoking.
Yeah.
You know, but there's you know, bits of lung that haven't had oxygen in them for 20 years.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. And also because it's not only it's being filmed, but there's other fighters there that are ridiculous. They're like machines, right? And it's that thing I can go, right, I can come out on top, but die now of a heart attack, but never give up. Or I can sit down and go, I'm sorry, I feel ill. And I chose that one, and of course they took the mick.
Well, of course.
But I mean, you know, soon, you know, as I said, I haven't got the respect yet of the boxing fraternity, but
and how long have you got then before?
4 weeks.
Okay, so, and do they think that they can turn you around health-wise in that time?
No,
they're going to be coming out on a Zimmer
No, they're gonna, you know, they're gonna teach me the basics and see how it goes, you know, but I mean, you know,
and each round is 4 seconds, is that right?
Yeah, yeah, 2 4-second rounds.
With a 2-hour break in between each one. Sit-down meal.
So, give the number. I want serious suggestions of my fighting name. Nothing insulting, something we can actually use.
Well, let's give out the email, that's always the easiest. Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk. What's the number, Carl?
08700 800 1234.
And it doesn't have to be in the middle, it could be at the beginning, like... The Rage.
Okay.
Ricky the Rage.
Ricky the Tits. Yeah, sure.
Ricky the Man, play a record.
It was a good day, yeah. Ice Cube talks to me about my life.
Yeah,
in the hood.
yeah.
A couple of emails are already coming in. They're flooding in, Rick, inevitably, as boxing name suggestions for you. This is one from Matt, I think. He's given a couple, actually. Ricky the Pudding Gervais. Ricky Big Mac Gervais. There's a theme here. Ricky Pasty Gervais. The pasty. I quite like the pasty. Here comes the pasty.
As Carl said, he said the thing is, if you have a really good nickname, it's embarrassing when you lose, whereas if you just call yourself, it's not so embarrassing when you lose. Carl, this is doing no good for my ego.
Do you know what I mean? If you have, like, Killer Gervais.
Yeah, and then you end up, like, vomiting, choking on your own vomit upside down, hanging out the ring.
What happens if you win? Do you have to do something
Whereas there goes the pasty being stretchered off in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not such a problem.
There he is, being lightly basted. And chucked down a mine. What do you mean, what do I have to do?
Say if you beat Grant, say if that happened.
Yeah.
What happens next?
What do you mean, what happens next? What? Do you think, this is a contention fight for the big one?
But do they,
Well, then we make Ricky 2.
No, but, you know, do you know if they're planning on making more money? Because it's for comic relief, isn't it? So what happens on the night?
No, it's for a charity of our
Comic
choice.
relief would make sense.
Yeah.
Well, whatever, right.
Yeah, it was last time. I think that was last time.
Is it sport relief? It's not sports
It was last time, yeah, but this is, I think this is a programme where the...
And how do you make money for charity from this? Do we pay to sort of, for how many punches to the head you're gonna take? Or
No, I just think...
How long you're gonna last?
I assume the BBC donate money, or someone, or a sponsor or whatever, so I don't know, just donate, because it's actually a programme, this is more about a programme with a, I think, a charity angle, so, yeah.
So as if you get, like, killed, there's more money and food to go around. Maybe. But no, I mean, the thing is, what's the next step? Because if they go like, right, yeah, well done, you've won, thank you very much.
Well, Carl, what do you expect? That it's winner stays on?
Yeah.
Like in a fair, where I go there, I let people punch me in
on Bernard Manning.
Yeah. And then my twin gets up.
Yeah.
It's just it's a programme.
He's not gonna turn pro.
It's like faking it.
Yeah, but what's the point if it's not gonna go anywhere?
Well, look.
Sorry, him fighting Grant Bovey in a ring is not entertainment enough.
Yeah, what's the matter with you, Carl?
That's gonna get his face pummeled in, that's gonna be hilarious.
Right, when I did boxing at the youth club.
Once, when he did boxing, he fought once, he fought a little weak kid, because it was his first day, battered him. Next week, it was someone else's turn, and he got battered and he left.
Yeah, I said, right, I've had enough. But there was
yeah.
There was a ladder there that I had to work. Right, and I decided after the sort of the first step, I thought, it's not for me, this.
Yeah.
But if you win, it's all kind of like, right, well...
Yeah, the world's your oyster.
But it's a programme. It's just a one-off programme, isn't it? It's like, it is like, you gotta treat it like faking it.
Yeah, but faking it, right, that little gay fella, who ended up being a doorman, he's actually doing that as a proper job now or something, he loved it so much.
Do you seriously think I have any intentions of getting into the fight game and leaving entertainment behind?
Well, what's the point then?
What do you mean? What's the point in what's the point in watching television? It's entertainment.
Or educational. I watch it to sort of soak in information.
Well, this is educational. I'm learning a lot. I'm actually learning a lot, and I can't believe my luck. I've got professionals telling me, you know, hopefully how to lose weight and punch hard. That's just fun. It's like having golf lessons.
Right, but say, I mean, here's an example.
Go on.
It's a nice way to plug it. We've got Rockbusters coming up in about 10 minutes or something, right? Now,
look forward to that.
People email in, and they don't just do it for fun. They do it because they know they've got some good prizes lined up.
Right.
So they're doing it because it gets them something.
Yeah, my prize is that I've learned something in life. I've gone through an experience, and hopefully I'll come out in some way better if I don't get mashed. That's it. That's the prize. That's why we do anything, isn't it?
I think this is an example of you, Carl, is you give up too easily.
Yeah,
you know,
and
you took up the boxing, you gave that up straight away.
You think there's no point in anything?
I did Crusaders for I think I lasted that out for about 4 weeks.
What's Crusaders?
Well, it was my mate, right? He was religious.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not, really. But...
No, I mean, you believe in ghosts, though, and shadows pushing people off bikes. But go on.
But it's the same time, I think I told you once before that I went to the church with this lad because I swore and he said he was going to tell me dad.
Yeah.
I was effing and jeffing. So he said if you're gonna...
Is that how they get people to church nowadays?
I love that one kid that, yeah, he hasn't got the idea of the protection game. There's nothing in it for him. Either you turn to religion or I tell your father.
Right, so I went to church with him and that, and then the next week he said, I know that was rubbish and you didn't enjoy it. It's when I got kicked out for messing with a tennis ball in the pews, right?
I don't think we've heard that, but I don't think we could possibly go into that now.
Summed it up.
Yeah.
So,
well, no,
come on, we'll come back to that. You had a tennis ball and some pubes.
No, in the pews.
In the pews, right. Yeah. But anyway, so I went there and I said, I don't think much of this church thing, it's a bit boring.
Sorry, and so you went to church and you ended up in the Crusades?
No, it's called the Crusaders. What it is, it's meant to be the fun part of religion for kids.
Right.
And my mate said, oh, you want to come along? It's, you know, you go on a Friday night and do it on a Sunday as well. Right, so I went on the Friday night, it was brilliant. They had Sabutio, played table tennis in this dead big old house.
And what do they do at the end? Say, I hope you enjoy yourself. Remember God gave you all this.
Well, it's sort of, you know, enjoy the simple things in life. You don't need computer games, you can play table tennis and that, and talk with your friends.
Yeah.
And blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's alright.
I think you'd be happy in a young offenders institution. You get to clean the toilets there.
But don't forget, Carl, I think God invented Nintendo too.
Right. Well, anyway, so that was alright. I loved it on the Friday.
Yeah.
And my mate said if you go for 4 weeks in a row without missing a day.
Yeah.
You get a free badge. And,
and salvation.
Oh, I don't like all this sort of being stuck in stuff. Do you know what I mean? That's what I
don't get tied down.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, every day. Yeah. Right, so, anyway, so you've got to come again on Sunday, so I thought, well, we'll have another game of table tennis, it'll be alright.
Yeah.
So anyway, I go on the Sunday.
Who was this servant of God?
Right. I go on the Sunday, it's like a totally different club, there's no table tennis.
That's how they trick you.
No Sabutio.
Yeah.
They start handing out Bibles.
Oh. And it's like a timeshare thing.
Hang on a minute, right?
They trick you.
So I didn't go again on Sundays, I used to just go on the Friday.
Just go on the Friday, brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah. I'm amazed no one else saw through that.
Well, the thing is, there used to be loads there on the Friday, so they won't even notice that I'm not, like, do you know what I mean? That I'm not showing up on a Sunday. So anyway, carried on, it was
just this kid in the vicar?
Oh, I love that. You got one over on the church.
So I was loving it, right, playing table tennis and that, and then, on a Sunday, they found out where I live, and the head fella started coming round, knocking on the door.
God!
He's everywhere, Rick.
Why did he knock?
The fella...
Politeness.
The fella who, like, ran the club, he started coming round knocking on the door. And I saw him coming up the path, and I said to my mum, oh, it's the fella from the Crusaders. Yeah. She didn't even know what I was...
No.
She
thought
like,
you were off nicking hubcaps and stealing cars.
She didn't have a clue what I was talking about.
You've been going to church!
You've been going to church? I don't believe it!
Little bleeder.
That's not how we brought you up!
So, I said, look, just tell him I'm not in, tell him I'm not in. And then she had to keep doing this, and they were coming round every Sunday to try and make me, like... Go on a Sunday. It was really important that I went and that I was abusing the system and all this. Anyway, I didn't go, and then...
Why didn't they just tell you on next time we turned up on a Friday?
Yeah.
No, well, because there was so many people there on a Friday, you just get mixed in the crowd.
Yeah.
Right? It was jammed. It was well popular on a Friday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But anyway, on one of the Sundays, it was quiet for a bit, and, they stopped coming round. So I thought, right, I can go out again, right, on a Sunday, because I used to avoid hanging around the house in case...
What sort of reign of terror is this?
Incredible.
Right. So I thought,
It's like the Spanish Inquisition.
So I thought, great, they forgot about me.
Yeah.
Everything, I can carry on in sort of normal life now.
Yeah.
And I was playing out in the avenue. Fella comes round. And he goes, there you are. You know, you're always busy on a Sunday. You enjoy Fridays and that, don't you? I was like, yeah. He goes, well, come on, you've got to come with me. And I couldn't get out of it.
No.
You know what I mean? It's like, what could I say?
Charlie says.
Right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, he nearly killed me in a car crash. So that was the excuse I used next time. He had a Mini, right? And he was driving us there, and he hit the curb, nearly sort of turned over the Mini. Right? There was like 3 of us in the back. So, I said...
Is that a record?
So... Next time, he came round to pick us up, I said, look, really enjoyed it and that. I said, but ever since that journey, I really, you know, I don't want to get in the car with you again, because it scared me a bit. And I said, alright then, I didn't have to go again.
That's alright, isn't it?
That's extraordinary.
Yeah.
He almost killed you in a car crash.
It's a parable that thank God no one was hurt.
Yeah.
I remember that
your life moves in incredible ways.
Yeah.
Rather like God.
Yeah. So, they're probably round there now, aren't they? Going, is he coming tomorrow? What we got?
Well, are we talking about the prizes next?
Well, let's talk about the prizes. We've got the big game Rockbusters coming your way soon, Rick. I know you're excited about that. And is there more Educating Ricky this week? Have you got that planned?
There is. We are struggling on that feature a bit now, because I feel like we've covered a lot of topics.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know about hairy Chinese kids and deaf people that hit their head and can hear again. Sure. So I don't think there's lots more to learn in life. The amazing Karl Pilkington. Right, prizes.
Yes.
List them.
Rockbusters.
Yeah.
It's, one of the big exciting quiz shows, and this may be one of your last chances to play. There's rumours that it's gonna get ditched, Rick. Rumours that Karl Pilkington, the creator and mastermind behind it, has already grown tired of it. It's all from the way. You heard them earlier on, the very best of the Stone Roses. From that we played, I Want to Be Adored. That's one of the prizes. That's a nice little, Christmas compilation.
Second hand now then, really, isn't it?
Second hand, yeah. 50 years of the greatest hit singles. I'll tell you there's some great stuff on here. Opens, Rick, with, Bohemian Rhapsody.
One of the biggest, number ones of all time.
If you've not heard that enough already, you're followed then by, John Lennon's Imagine. Candle in the Wind, Elton John. You've got, all
on one CD, Stephen.
Well,
these are some of the greatest rock minds.
They've chosen some of the best songs by some of the best artists.
Go on.
Paul McCartney's Mull of Kintyre. That's on there. We've got, let me see.
That is pretty impressive though, because they are real big classic number ones, as opposed to, you know, the song by the artist they didn't really care about. You see those things on, this is not available in the shops, and it's, you know, the second best song artists have done.
It seems odd that we're giving it away on XFM, because it includes, Robbie Williams' Angels, Atomic Kitten's Whole Again, Spice Girls Wannabe, Kylie Minogue's, Can't Get You Out of the Head, and I think it closes, well, it almost closes with Steps Tragedy. That's the penultimate track. It ends though, any ideas? It's a big hit single. But do they know it's Christmas, Band-Aid? Perfect for your Christmas party.
Sure.
We've also got the Groove Armada current album, is that from them? And signed by the man himself, the Big Beach Boutique DVD, Fatboy Slim's concert on that Brighton Beach, and there's all kinds of treats on there, and includes an audio commentary by Norman Cook. I don't know how that works. 3 hours of him going, this is where the needle almost jumps. Watch this for this. I did a little bit of scratching. I'm not very good at scratching, but just look forward to that.
I'm putting a different track. You'll see me there. There's the crowd loving it.
Here's me. I'm just waiting. This is where I go from Conga Squad to Basement Jacks.
Yeah.
Look forward to that.
That's one of mine. I'll pop on what you see there. I've got Praise You ready.
Yeah, I just got that was slightly dusty. I just had to wipe that down with a damp rag.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. Plus, I suppose this is good if you're a fan. This is a box set of the first series of Linda Green. I think a new series starts this week, or has already started. I'll tell you what I found when I was clearing up, Rick, because I know there's not a big movie this week. We normally give away a big movie. I was moving house this week, and I found a video that you're more than welcome to if you're a fan. No, it stars Kurt Russell. Executive Decision. I've got that to give away if you're interested. Executive Decision with Steven Seagal in a cameo as well. So I think it's on TV this week, Rick. So if you miss it this coming Friday, you don't tape it this Friday. Well, here it is on video.
Bring it in, because I think Carl's excited about that. I think Carl would like to win that, wouldn't you?
Great prizes there.
How about if you come up with an extra Rockbusters today? For the bonus prize.
I don't think I'm the man for the job, Carl. I think it has to come from your unique take on the world.
Carl, I don't think you've quite worked out why you're funny. And why things you do are good. Go on then.
Right, you ready then? So, just in case, you haven't heard it before, I'll give you some initials of a band or an artist.
We're not doing Rockbusters now, are we?
Yeah, I thought, well, we'll just...
Oh, then we could keep that going, then we got... Well, I love Educating Ricky, that's my favourite thing now.
Well, what do you want to do, Steve?
Let's do the clues.
It's just like it's sort of bigged up the prizes.
And so this is only by email. Give the email address out now for people to write it down now, Carl.
Right, it's ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Only entries on email.
Yeah.
You're gonna get 3 clues, you've got to get them all right.
And you win all the
You win all those prizes we just said. Okay, Carl, go on then.
Right, and just a quick example, one of the first ones we did, it was like AK, and the clue was exploding pet.
Yeah.
And it was atomic kitten, right?
Yeah.
So you understand how it works now. These are your clues. The first one, that army has got some nice trenches.
That army has got some nice trenches. Excellent.
Yeah. And the initials there are DW.
Do you write some of the questions for 15 to 1?
Go on.
So that army has got some
similar phrasing.
Trenches, okay.
Okay.
The second one,
what were the initials there, Carl, on that person?
DW.
DW.
Yeah. Right, the second one, the top of them curtains are all wrecked. All the materials all worn.
He acts it out though. We've got to get him on telly. We have got to get him on telly because his little face and his gestures.
That's the second one. The initials being HV. Okay, the top of those curtains are wrecked. All the materials all worn out. Right, HV. And the final one. Here's the final clue. I was in Texas the other week. Right, I tripped and landed on my knees in a puddle.
What's the
initials? WH for that one. So I was in Texas, I tripped up, landed on my knees in a puddle. So that's WH.
Incredible.
I've got it!
Is it great?
It's fantastic! It's desperate.
Okay, time of during the record, Remember you're playing for these compilation albums. We got the Fatboy Slim DVD, Linda Green on VHS, and of course Executive Decision starring Kurt Russell as well.
Oh God! Bob Dylan. Just Like a Woman on XFM 104.9.
Couple more names, boxing nicknames for you, Rick. I think this is from Josh. Ricky Blue Eyes, I quite like. And he's also put Toad Rage. which I quite like. I'll tell you, our number 1 fan has emailed again, I'm pleased to announce. Richard Anderson, Dickie Anderson, he was in touch last week.
He loves this show.
He's such a fan of the show, and this week he's emailed in, what actually is the point of your show? Is it to confuse, irritate, depress, or what? All of those things, Dickie. Thanks for noticing.
Oh, he loves this show.
He's such a fan. He's such a fan.
He's
Because last week, you remember, Carl, he emailed in to say that he'd rather spend his time counting his feet than listen to this show. Presumably he's done that. Yeah. And he's
how many? Well, how many feet?
Incredible. Yeah.
No, but he loves this show.
Good, yeah. So, thanks, R.A. Thanks for listening.
See you later. Missy Elliott. Work It on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
Educating Ricky?
Yeah.
Should I do a bit of that?
Well, the clues are coming in furious.
The answers, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah. So go on. Oh, this is what.
Yeah, Rockbusters is well underway, Carl. Don't worry, you've done your work now.
Okay.
Right, come on.
Right, Educating Ricky.
This is my favourite bit now.
You're just gonna tease us, aren't you, with 3 headlines, if you
I'm gonna choose one, then we got the other 2 as well.
Yeah, that's the way it works, and at the end of it, you learn some stuff. Like I say, I'm struggling a bit with knowledge.
Yeah.
At last he confesses.
Yeah. Go on.
So the 3 headlines for you to pick from, we've got, first one, we'll have a big fire tomorrow.
I got a feeling there's some vegetables involved.
Yeah, go on.
Maybe. Second one, he's a bit of a nuisance.
Okay.
Right.
And, third one, I'll bacon in the morning, if you're sick of having me here.
Oh, that one.
I'll bacon in the morning, if you're sick of having me here.
Right, I'm having that one.
That's brilliant.
Right, well, it's a saying. Do you know, cold shoulder? Giving someone the cold shoulder?
Yeah.
Alright, if you have someone round at your house, and, you know, you try to get rid of them, and they're hanging around and stuff, and you're like, oh, I wish they'd go, I'm tired and that. Well, years ago,
when? Literally years ago. Well, ages ago.
Sort of,
olden times.
I think it said medieval times.
Yonks ago then, yonks ago.
Yeah, medieval,
we're going back quite a bit on this
Well,
one.
you know when you find out these books, why don't you just pop down when it was?
Just make a note.
I don't think it says all the time, it just sort of says, you know, a few years back.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Well,
never.
Alright, I'll make an effort next week.
Okay.
Right? So, it's annoying that, because my girlfriend said to me, just make a note of the time and he'll stop having a go at you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And I kind of thought, it's alright.
Didn't listen.
I don't think it matters anyway in this one. We're looking at the saying, right? So it's giving someone a cold shoulder, right? And what it is, right? Ages ago, there wasn't enough houses for people.
Right.
Because there wasn't much money being made. You know, there weren't big businesses. People weren't earning good money like they are now. So there wasn't as many houses, right? So what you ended up getting is like, you know, the rich people having a nice place to live. And the poor people were like wandering about, you know, looking for places to live and that. And what they ended up doing is, they had like, people would go around to the mate's house and say, look, I haven't got anywhere to live. It's a bit cold. Can you let me stay? Right? So they'd go, alright, then you can stay a couple of days. But they ended up staying for like weeks.
Yeah.
Right? So, to sort of get rid of them, what they'd end up doing, they'd be making the dinner, and they'd, be making a lovely dinner, like a bit of meat, nice warm meat, and nice veg, gravy, and
this happened every time, did it? This is where the saying came from.
This is what happened, Rick.
This is happened every time.
It was in that vague book.
The book of vague sayings and stuff.
Right, so they'd be making a nice meal, but what they did, they looked after all the family, but the person who won't go home, they just give them some, like, sort of a cut-off of cold meat.
Right.
So they'd say, you're giving them the cold shoulder. Meaning...
Right. Okay, that's rubbish. Okay, absolute...
Carl, why does that necessarily work?
Yeah. Why do they always, in every situation when you want to get rid of a lodger, well, still feed him every day, but make the meat lukewarm. So
they always leave then.
Yeah.
Oh, this food's lukewarm, I'm gonna become homeless
and
again,
they go,
wandering the streets.
Hold on, are you giving me the cold shoulder? Yes. Do you want me to leave? Yes, just say leaving. No, I like to do it cryptically. That way, in years to come, someone will have a little saying about it.
Well, yeah, that was our bacon in the morning. If you've had enough of meat, we'll leave that.
Well,
bacon in the morning! Oh, bacon in the morning if you've had enough of me!
So come back. What are the others? Just tease us again with the others. We'll come back to those.
He's a bit of a nuisance. And, we'll have a big fire tomorrow.
Nice, looking forward to that. Nirvana, in their version of The Man Who Sold the World, the David Bowie tune. It's
good tune.
Taken from that new Nirvana compilation.
I like that version, I like the David Bowie version.
You can't decide, can you, Rick? You're torn.
In fact, I like the Lulu version as well.
Is there a Lulu version?
Maybe we should play that one week. Yeah.
Was this recorded, what, in the 70s?
I think she recorded it about the same time as David Bowie. I don't know if he released it as a single. I think it was just off the album.
Interesting.
Carl is studying. Okay, what's the next one? What's the educating wiki?
I don't know, see, like I say, I was looking around and there's stuff that is interesting. Right? I was looking on the web.
But there's no point.
Well, it's just that I found one about,
what's the point?
About a lad who, 8 years old, but he's still breastfed. Now, I don't know if you can get anything out of that.
Is that what his mum said? What do you mean I don't know if I can get anything out of that? You don't need to.
No, it's just that, you know...
Where did you read that?
That was on the internet.
Oh, well, yeah.
You're always unspecific when you mention it. It's just it was on the internet.
Well, I'm trying to think what I put in. I think I put in Y to see if I'd confuse a computer.
Go! You are...
No,
honestly.
I did a search, put in Y, and he came up with funny things that, like, why is this person doing that, why is that... And it had a picture of this 8-year-old lad, sort of, you know, on his mum's nipple. And, it was saying, you know, is this healthy?
You sure that wasn't asking you that question?
What? I put in Y just to confuse the computer. Like, we were going, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Stop it!
Yeah.
Oh, look, last week, I was walking, home with him, and I went, he was saying something stupid, and I went, I've got a competition for next week. Let's do a phone-in, and it's called Karl Pilkington, Genius or Fool.
Yeah.
Right? And he went, no. I went, why not? He went, well, it'd be confusing, because they say there's no difference between genius and being a fool.
We do though, don't we?
No, but it's rubbish, and people say there's a fine line between madness and genius, and, you know, it's a ridiculous soundbite. They don't say there's a fine line between a genius and an idiot.
Well, the people who do are idiots.
Yeah.
So what would you do there, though, just to sort of wrap that little thing up? What would you do? That lad loves his mum's milk.
What are you asking me to come up with?
No, I'm
a
just...
title for the story?
No, it's just what would you do? Right.
What do you mean, what would I do?
Well, it's causing a bit of a problem in the area, right?
What area?
In America, I think it was.
Oh, America are a problem, are they? George Bush is worried about this kid who's breastfeeding at 8.
Imagine it like this, right?
Right. No, so Carl, what are you asking me? About this spurious story you saw on the internet?
I saw it on the internet. There's an 8-year-old lad, he likes his mum's milk, and it's saying, is this right? Should it
No, it's not. But what do
you want Ricky to do about it? It's not his responsibility.
Yeah.
No, but the little town that he lives in, they're all causing an uproar, right? Going, this isn't right, you know, I can't let my kid play out in case he's in the garden with his mum getting a bit hungry, right? So,
oh, God.
What should they do? Because his mum's saying, well, he likes it.
Yeah.
And he, you know, so what do you do?
I don't know the laws.
No, but I'm not asking you to sort out the laws. I'm just saying, if you lived in that neighbourhood, what would you say? If you went up to him and said, look, everyone's getting a bit fed up with this, look.
I'd say, what would I do? What do you mean, what would I do? What are you asking me?
Right, it doesn't matter.
No, what are you asking me? What are you asking me and Steve and the public?
I'm just saying, say if you live next door to this woman.
Yeah.
Right? The kid's hungry, 8 years old, he's out playing on his bike and he goes, Mum, I'm getting a bit peckish, and he goes, alright, son. She whops one out. And he starts having his milk, right? You live next door, you're putting your washing out, and you see this going on. You're getting a bit sick of it, because it's gone on for months.
8 years, I assume.
Why is it your business? Why are you such a nosy neighbour that you're concerned?
What would you do, Carl? Let's turn it back on him.
Yeah.
What would you do?
What's your solution?
What would you do?
Well, I thought I'd say, right, why are you doing this? And she'd say, because he likes it. And I go, alright then, put it in a bowl first.
And you think that would sort that out?
No, because I was thinking about the whole thing, right, and you do that when you're a baby, and everything's alright, innit?
Yeah.
No one bats an eyelid at a little baby having a bit of milk from its mum's breast, right?
Yeah.
You'd almost say it was natural.
But you grow out of it. It's like, you don't see. It got me thinking about things you don't see. And you don't see.
Did you put this into a computer? Show me things you don't see.
What else don't you see?
Well, you don't see, like, an old man having a Twix. You never... So what?
You know the terrible thing about all this, Steve, is he's right.
You don't see an old man eating a Twix.
That's a terrible thing.
So what they have got, right, they've made old man toffees, haven't they? They've come up with Werther's.
Is that a song? Oh God! You don't see it.
No, listen now. So they've got their Werther's, right?
Yeah. So look at him! You think he's giving a lecture at Oxford?
It's not going anywhere.
No, go on, sorry. Go on.
I'm just saying.
Right.
You grow out of things.
Yeah.
And the old man, I'm sure when he was a kid, he'd have a Twix.
Yeah.
But now it doesn't look right, so he's having...
It doesn't look right!
So...
Right.
I don't think Werther's originals were specially designed for old people. I think they were sweets that just happened to have been made for years. That's why old people eat them.
Yeah.
They didn't go, hang on, there's a market here. I've noticed old people aren't eating Twixes. Quick, let's make some old man sweets.
But the little advert, he gives it to his grandson as well, doesn't he? He goes, I have a Werther's original.
Oh, I think it cuts though before he throws it back in his face and goes, get me a Twix. And a damn curly-whirly, Grandad, you old fool.
Electric 6, Danger, High Voltage on XFM, 104.9. Sums up the show, Danger, High Voltage. Indeed. Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, and the amazing Karl Pilkington. So, other things you don't see, Karl? Got any other ones, or you obviously been thinking about this? What confuses you? When you look out your window, what confuses you with the world? What do you walk around going, oh, that's a bit weird? I remember, when you were in, Edinburgh, you were confused because you saw someone putting a parking ticket on some rubbish, which confused you.
Yeah. That was weird.
Yeah.
The world's a crazy place, isn't it? I mean, whatever you look at, you can... Do you know what I mean?
Like what? Like what?
Oh, anything. I mean, you could look out the window there and you'll see something, you go, why are they doing that?
Yeah.
What are they doing that for?
Yeah.
I'd say this maybe we should bring back White Van Karl. There's some interesting questions this week, Rick.
Yeah.
We could pull that out of the bag if you're interested.
Shall we do that?
Just get Carl's take on the world's.
Let's do it.
views.
Let's do it.
I'll tell you what. We'll do that in a second. Let's have another educating Ricky because I think you got sidetracked with your talk of.
Well, just the other thing on things you don't see. Look at the way when I went to school, there was 2 kids with them big heads. Now.
You don't
never see them.
Sure.
Yeah, but no one else saw them anyway, Carl. It was only you that saw 2 of them, not related, and wouldn't hang around with each other because you think they thought it would be too obvious. Webbed fingers and big heads. That's amazing.
And there was a kid with a pigeon chest. So.
Oh yeah, and the lady with the head like a bag of spuds.
Let's not go through these again. It just raises too many questions that can't be answered.
Yeah.
Right then. So we've got we'll have a big fire tomorrow.
Yeah, go on.
Is that the one you want?
Let's go for it.
Right. I think this was like round the 1700s.
Bluffing.
And
just bluffing.
Who was the king then?
Dunno.
Go on.
But it's about the word bonfire, right? Bonfire.
Yeah.
Do you know where it comes from?
No, go on.
No.
Right, what happened is it's got nothing to do with Guy Fawkes and that, which is what I thought when I saw it. It's got nothing to do with that. But ages ago, at 1700s, right, they didn't have enough houses, like I mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if that happens, you get people living on the streets. You get diseases, people aren't cleaning properly. So you get more deaths. Alright?
Yeah.
So, think about it. You've got all these dead bodies lying around. They're running out of space. Because there's, like, I don't know why they're running out of space. But, they haven't got much, I don't know why, really. I was gonna say they should have just buried them, but there's probably more land back then than now.
He doesn't need anyone else in the room to have a conversation with himself. Yeah, we could leave and we'd come back and he'd go, I've sorted it. Yeah.
But anyway, for some reason,
they presumably, if it's going to be they burnt them, it's presumably to do that it also kills the parasite or whatever's carrying the parasite on them, as opposed to burying them and not killing the disease.
Well, yeah. So there you go. You've worked it out. They piled them up and they turned it into a celebration because there was a lot of fed up people at that time.
Is this to be the word bon, meaning good?
No. I'll tell you in a minute.
Go on.
So you've got all these people who are like going around and like, oh, you know, so and so died the other day, and you know, nearly every week someone they knew was dying. So you can imagine like just constant like being depressed. So and they've got all these bodies lying everywhere. It's like, oh god, what are we gonna do? So they said, we're all too fed up at the moment. Said, let's make this a better world.
This was 1701 by the time they got together.
Yeah.
So they said, what we need to do is have a big party. So they said, yeah.
Good thinking.
See what you're thinking. So they go, right, well, we'll put all the bodies in a big pile. And they're all diseased and that, so they set fire to the bodies. And they said, let's have this as a celebration to remember them by. And, you know, we'll have a drink and that, and have a chat. We'll have this big fire going, and it came from bone fire.
Ah, right.
So it was all the bones. Bonfire is bone fire.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah?
That's interesting.
So that's how it came about.
Yeah, in the 1700s.
Yeah.
That was?
No, probably, I reckon it was 1600.
Probably earlier.
I reckon it was the plague. I reckon it came from.
But, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff.
So that's,
Did you celebrate Bonfire Night? Is that a big celebration for you? Do you like the fireworks? I'm sick of fireworks. I just think they're rubbish. I'm
not impressed.
I've never been impressed by fireworks. Even as a kid, you know, you have to go to like sort of community kind of gatherings with a bonfire and fireworks, and some local vicar or whatever would come out and.
But I also think the adults think the kids love it, and everyone, and if they just got together and said, "Should we go to see it?" They'd all go, "No."
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's not go this year.
What would be better is if the vicar had wheeled out like a massive rocket, climbed in, gone last one to the moon is a bender, and then fired himself off. Now that, I'd pay to see. That's a fireworks display I'd like to see. As it is, it's just rubbish.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Carl?
Yeah, I'm not keen.
No.
Sorry, what clue was that?
We'll have a big fire tomorrow.
Bone marrow. Bone marrow. Genius. Let's play record.
Oh God! Right, what's this? Go on. Go on, just get on with it, because I just can't believe what you just said.
What we're doing? Are we, final one?
Yeah.
Right, the last one, like I said...
No. Say the record. Say the record you played. Go on.
This is, free association.
Yeah, brilliant, right.
I wish I had a wooden art.
Yeah, and what did you just say to me just before this was ending? He just looked over at me and went, are there any animals without a brain?
No, but hang on a minute.
No, right. And I went, yeah, there's animals that he went, I was gonna talk about this, but it's sad. There's a lad born without a brain, and he laughs a lot, and his hearing and his sight's okay. I'll go, well, that's impossible. If he's without a brain, all that is impossible. And he went, well, it was in the magazine.
No, it was in a book that somebody sent.
Right.
And I didn't want to bring it up, because it is a bit sad, really. That this, young lad, there's a picture of him sat there with his mum, and,
what? Carl!
Well,
Carl!
Forget it.
It's impossible.
Well, there must have been more to the story,
He can't not have a brain. Hearing and sight is a concept within the brain. That's all it is, right? The ears are just receptacles. They're just, So,
but that's why it was in this book. It was a book of mysteries.
Carl, if you're reading a book and you see a photo and you guess at what you think the story might be, that doesn't make it true. That doesn't make it fact.
I looked at it because I thought he looks like an happy lad.
Sure.
And I read about it and I thought, that's weird. Like you've said, the fact that he hasn't got a brain but he can see and he can hear.
No! Impossible!
Well,
impossible.
Okay.
Go on. I don't know who to believe. Listen, we haven't done it for a while. White Van Man. I thought there's some interesting questions raised today, and I think it might be nice to throw them Carl's
I think we set Carl up again in the last hour as a person that people want to know his opinions on the world,
if you're not familiar with it, on Saturdays, the Sun newspaper, asks a typical white van driver questions, his opinions on the week's news, and we thought we'd throw these in the direction of Carl. And then what do you make of, this teenage thug, Carl, Mickey Carroll, who spent 4 months in jail and he's won 9.7 million on the, lottery? Is that justice? When you think of all the good people that are going hungry? And there's a lad there and he's won...
Did he buy the ticket before he went in?
No, I think he bought it once he'd come out.
So he's done his time?
He's done his time.
Fair enough then, he's been punished.
Yeah.
Right? He's bought a ticket, he's had a lot of bad luck. Now he's having a bit of good luck.
Quite right. Next one.
Are you concerned that now he's got all that money he could turn into like a sort of mastermind villain? Like a James Bond style villain? He's got a criminal streak, we know that. Is that a concern for you? I mean, imagine that he could build some kind of underwater fortress.
We don't, with my lawyer's hat on, we don't know that.
Yeah, well. Well, he'd have to prove that he didn't have a criminal streak. I'd say you've been in jail for 4 months.
Yeah, but sometimes people are bad because they haven't got any money, so he might be an angel of gold now, or whatever his name is.
1 in 5 children aged between 11 and 16 go on booze binge sessions at least once a week. That's terrifying news, isn't it?
Kids, they know too much now.
Yeah.
You
despair.
Right?
Yeah.
Listen to this one, right?
Go on.
My dad had me niece in the car, right, running her to school one day. And she was in the back of the car with a mate. And they chatting away about stuff like kids do. And he got onto the topic of one of the mates, who he said, I mean, you've got to remember, niece, this point was probably about 5 or 6, something like that, right? In the back of the car, talking about My Little Pony, whatever it is they play with. Subject changed. Oh, that Lisa in our class, she's a lesbian, isn't she?
Right.
That was that's what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Chatting away about it.
Just openly talking about lesbianism.
And probably, this is the topic that they're talking about in the pub when they're having one. Out drinking.
Yeah, but they might have thought a lesbian was a funny word or something. You don't necessarily know the ins and outs of it, do they?
He's weird though, isn't it? Because when I was younger at school, you didn't you swore a little bit, but it wasn't like major swear words, and you sort of did a little bit of nicking, but nothing like they get up to now. I mean, if
my girlfriend, when she was about 7 or 8, just walking to school with her mum, and she called her a C-U-N. Right?
You are joking.
No, she said, because she thought it was a big. She said she thought it was a big furry animal. So she was being nice, and I remember, where'd you hear that? Where'd you hear that? Like, just heard it at school. So they might, they might not know what it means.
Well, I tell you, I'm gonna have to use kind of euphemisms here to tell this story, but when I was at school, I learned, the stronger version, it's not the same word, but it's very similar with one letter changed. I'm gonna use twit.
Yeah.
You know the word I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna use the word twit to replace it, right? And I said, I went round...
You think they're twat?
Yeah. Alright. That's what I'm thinking of. And, so can I say it? Am I allowed to say it?
No, it's weird though, because some people from Cornwall use that like saying twit. So, if people listen in Cornwall...
a twit is a pregnant goldfish.
Well...
Well, I learned the stronger version of twit.
Yeah.
Twat. For those that aren't sure. I learned this at school when I was like 10 or whatever, and I didn't know what it meant. I thought it was just a stronger version of twit.
Yeah.
I thought it was just if you were really annoyed with someone because they were a real twit.
Because A is worse than I.
Exactly, apparently. So, you know, Karl would be a twit. And so I started using this at home, because I didn't realise what it meant. I started using this at home, oh, you twit, you're a twit, and saying it to my dad, you're a twit, you know, but not saying twit.
Yeah.
And my dad didn't know what it meant either.
That's great!
I couldn't believe. So he started using it as well, right? So then we'd be driving in the car, he'd be saying to my mum, you stupid twit. Say to my mum, you don't pull over, you're gonna bum it, you twat. Saying this. Then I learned at school from Mark Johnson what it really meant.
Yeah.
Stopped using it, obviously finding out it was quite an offensive word.
Yeah.
I didn't want to bring it up to my dad. I didn't want to sit my dad down and say, Dad, you know that word we've been saying?
Yeah.
You know what it means? So now, to this day, I've never brought it out with him. So we'll be driving, you know, I'll go home for Christmas, we'll be driving around, he'll be calling my mum that word. Left, right and centre. I think she knows. I think she's just embarrassed. Or she's just upset and she knows what it means. She goes, why does he keep calling me this terrible word? But he's the only one, I think, in our family who doesn't know what it means. No one's got the guts to say, I don't know whether I should tell him this Christmas.
What a twat.
I know.
Good to hear that again.
Always good to hear that.
Suede. Animal nitrate. Carl's all flustered because there isn't a record set up, but he's getting all tizzy. He's been more worried about his competitions than sorting out putting records on ready. What?
I'm after Steve's Song for a Lover.
Well, I'll tell you what, why didn't you carry on with your, educating Ricky section? I'll have a look on the
We'll keep it going, Steve.
Yeah,
Cover it. Go on then, right, okay. We've had a few emails. Anyone got it right, Carl? Anyone
educating Ricky, that's the final one. We've got to get that out of the way.
We've got to get Rockbusters as well, though.
We can do that at the end, we can
Go on then.
But we've only got 5 minutes left.
Come on, just do Educating Ricky.
Right. God. The last one that we haven't done is, he's a bit of a nuisance.
Go on then.
Again, not really that interesting.
Thanks.
No, like, again, I spoke to you in the week, and I had much better things, like when I tell you about Brian Blessed climbing Everest, and for some reason it made him, it played havoc with his belly, and he followed through, and he had to clean up.
Shat himself?
Yeah, using ice and snow.
Why are you telling me that Brian Blessed, in what way is telling me that Brian Blessed shit himself once in any way educational?
Because I was saying how he was climbing Everest, right?
Right.
I give it to him, he's an actor and that, but he gave that a go.
Yeah.
Right, it played...
What's the point of that, you'd say, wouldn't you?
You'd say, God, he's you know...
So he's alright. Me doing a boxing match for no reason is rubbish, but him climbing Everest and shitting himself...
Yeah, he did that.
is commendable.
Right, and he's only gonna, like, go and do it again. He's gonna climb it again.
Yeah, but he might not shit himself this time.
Yeah, but what's the point in going? Nothing's changed up there.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, well, it has. They've probably, cleared it up by now. Like, but, it's slip on it.
I can't even be bothered telling you this one, because...
Come on! Just do it, or do it now!
Steve, how we doing?
Look, no, never mind that. Look, just tell me what that means. Oh, he's a nuisance. Oh, this is so annoying, Carl. I'm gonna go mental.
Right,
talk!
Right, listen, I'm just putting this in here, right? Right, nuisance is a bit of a nuisance.
Yeah.
Apparently, the old fella who used to hang people...
1700s?
Yeah. He used to be able to tell somebody's weight just by looking at them. Right? That's a bit of a bonus fact.
We'll be the judge of that.
The thing that I wanted to tell you is, money for old rope, do you know what I'm saying? I can't even be bothered.
Yes, you're gonna tell me now. Come on, Carl.
Right,
I mean it.
Basically, money for old rope came from the... right.
What was all that about? He can tell someone's weight. What was all that
bonus
for?
fact.
And Blind Blessed shitting himself. What are you... What? No, don't you... No, tell me that now. You nearly made me swear then. I'm getting really annoyed. I'm getting really annoyed now. Tell me this back, Carl, or I'm gonna go mental.
Come on, Carl, time's running out.
More that people, years ago, when people used to be hung, right?
Right.
If you didn't like the person who's been hung, you'd go, God, I really don't like him, and so you never forget the time.
Sure, if they're being hung, we take that as read.
Yeah. Well, so they never forget afterwards to get the hangman to get the rope and to cut it up into little pieces, and he'd sell them. He'd sell the little pieces of rope to people.
See, Carl, that's the most interesting thing, if it's true, that you've come up with.
Right, okay. And so what's... So they sell the rope?
They sell the rope, and it's money for old rope.
Money for old rope?
Meaning, like, you know, God, it's easy to make money, that all they have to do is cut it up and sell it.
I'm cynical. I'm not so convinced.
Right, listen, we're really tight. We haven't even got time for a last track. We've got an ad break, and we've got to give out.
Okay, give the answers then. This is ridiculous.
So, Steve, do you want to pick a winner?
I've got the winner when you give us the answers.
Okay, so the first clue was that army has got some well nice trenches.
Yeah.
That was DW.
Who's that?
Dandy Warhols.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
That's good, yeah.
The second one, the top of them curtains are wrecked, all the material is worn. HV, that's Holly Valance.
Oh, he got a phone call for a woman saying I haven't heard it, and he was talking to her off air, and she went, what is it? So-and-so said them curtains. Went, oh right. He said, you know the thing around the top of the curtain is a palmet, not a valance, and he went, cut her off.
Yeah, but my auntie's always making balances on everything. I'll tell you about that next week, right?
I'm looking forward to that.
Right. Is this the one that farted for 5 minutes?
Yeah, the very same.
Yeah.
Right? So, we'll talk about that. I was in Texas, I tripped up, I landed on my knees in a puddle, WH, wet knee Houston, right?
Wet knee Houston.
Yeah. So,
you're a maniac.
So, who's a winner?
We've got Pete, Catherine and Laura in Newcastle upon Tyne. They're listening online, I assume, and they're going to get those great prizes. And remember, they've got loads of stuff. They've got the DVD here, they've got Linda Green, they've got Stone Roses, they've got another compilation, and Executive Decision.
What did you read about Brian Blessed? Is it actually true, or have you lied with someone else?
It was an interview with him in it.
And what did he say? Oh, come on, what did he say?
He said I climbed Everest and I played Havoc with me belly. Let's talk about it next week. We've really run out now.
Oh, you're a fool. Foo Fighters, All My Life on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington.
Indeed.
Genius Karl Pilkington, as Heat magazine said.
Really? Is that what he's referred to now?
Yeah, yeah. Genius. Saying about people tune in just to hear his games, such as Educating Ricky. Have you got some Educating Ricky for me?
Got some education.
I need some education, Karl. I desperately need some education. I want to learn about Chinese kids that are born hairier than average. I want to hear about deaf girls that can hear after their mum hits their head against a wall. These are the things I need to know.
I mean, I don't wish to be disrespectful. He doesn't look like a genius.
He doesn't look like a genius.
But then I don't know what a genius looks like.
Exactly.
So,
Steve.
you know, I don't want to be an unfair.
Look at Einstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His mum thought he was mental as a child.
Where'd you get that information from?
That was in the Einstein book.
Well, it was in the Einstein book, then it's presumably true.
Which Einstein book is that? His Theory of Relativity?
The big book of Einstein stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the big bumper book of Einstein stuff. It's for a coach trip, and you have to fill in, E equals MC1 squared, 2 fish, or 3 hello, and then it's multiple choice, and you fill it. It's great. It's
Did his mum think, A, he was a genius, B, mental?
Most people go for A, but it is in fact B. She thought he was mental at the age of 28. Oh, Karl, you never let me down. You never let me down. So have you got Educating Ricky for me?
We've got Educating Ricky coming up.
We've got Rockbusters.
We've got Rockbusters.
Great
as seen and talked about in Heat.
In Heat magazine.
It's got really tough this week now. We're not messing about anymore.
Right.
Got some good prizes.
Absolutely, yeah, we'll talk about those later. Because, I mean, was it last week that you had the classic? Was it, I can't remember, I'm paraphrasing, Karl, apologies. Something like, I'm here in Texas, I've fallen in a puddle, and my knee has got wet.
Yeah. Wet knee Houston.
Wet knee Houston, Whitney Houston.
Yeah. And also, it was last week when there was a little bit of confusion over, the one for Holly Valance. Right?
Of course. I don't think it was confusion, I think it was your error.
No, it wasn't.
And it was Holy Valance, and you meant Pelmet.
Then, Becky, who called up that time and said, oh, if you're getting mistaken with, Pelmet, right, she sent me an email in a week saying, I've done a bit of research. It was my fault, I've made an error. It is a Valance.
Okay.
And I know about Valances, as I told you last week at the very end, me auntie loves them.
Yeah.
Right? She makes them. She started off just like putting them on top of the, sort of window around the curtain. And then she thought, oh, I can do more with this. And she had a little coffee table that had magazines underneath, and she said, I'm sick of seeing them magazines when I'm sat down.
She sounds like a Pilkington, so...
I'm sick of seeing them magazines when I sit down.
So she put a Valance around the table.
Yeah.
She just got Valances around everything now.
Then, next step, She tapes everything. She never actually watches telly. She tapes it all because she gets sick of listening to the adverts and that.
Yeah.
So she tapes everything. So she's got loads of videotapes and that. And the video used to get on her nerves. When she was watching a film, she'd see the clock changing.
Oh.
And it distracts her from the film. So she put a valance around that.
Yeah.
That's genius!
Yeah.
So, that is
or is it mental?
Only
Mrs. Einstein can tell.
I don't know. She's even made her little, Jack Russell look like a hovercraft.
Yeah.
He's great.
So everything's got a balance.
If you go round and you stand still for too long, the chances are she'll put a balance around your head.
Yeah. This is this is Auntie who?
Auntie Nora.
And this is the one that farted for 5 minutes. Lest our listeners forget.
Lest we
farted
forget.
for 5 minutes, called his mum, saying I'm farting. 2 minutes into the fart.
She's about 2.5 minutes in.
Yeah. God.
She said I'm about 2.5 minutes into
Well,
the
my
fart.
mum said, how long's it been going on for? She said, well, it was about 2.5 minutes before I called you.
Yeah.
And then it went on for a further 2.5 minutes or something. And, then it stopped. And,
She couldn't time it because there was a balance over the clock.
Yeah, she
Because it used to
couldn't
annoy
time
her when
it,
she was on the phone and you put her off seeing
So
the time.
she was
guessing it was 5 minutes.
This was one consistent fart.
yeah. I mean, it wasn't making a noise, it was just...
Oh, it wasn't making a noise.
just gas.
Right, endless gas.
So, there you
That's
go.
fantastic. Well, we started off with a new one. A little bit of Foo Fighters. We like new and old on this show, don't
Indeed, we like to mix it up.
I'd like to play to the Smiths from their debut album, I Don't Owe You Anything. I Don't Owe You Anything. The lads from, Karl's hometown there.
Indeed.
The Smiths. Brilliant, that one. Wow, I went to Manchester, didn't I, the other day? Went up to Manchester for a
What did
little
you make of
corporate. It was alright.
Yeah.
He went, wait till you get out, you see Piccadilly, it's better than Euston. Right. It was, you know, it was nicer. I went outside and there was a ridiculous queue, and sort of one cab.
Right, yeah.
So,
Horse-drawn.
yeah. And so I walked, and it was okay, it was only down the road, it was a bit dark. It was wet and raining, of
Obviously,
course.
it's the north.
I know, yeah. The hotel was very nice, but no minibar. I've never seen that before. I've travelled all over the world, so I've been in a hotel without a minibar.
No,
So I don't know what's going on then, I don't know what's going on there. And then I did this corporate gig in Old Trafford. The pitch was up, I don't know what they were doing, but, you know, very impressive, big impressive. I think they're the richest football club, aren't they, Karl?
Yeah.
You did a gig at where?
Old Trafford. It was in a function room.
Oh,
there
well, I
for-
thought it was the stadium.
No, I'm
Incredible.
not that big yet. No. But I mean, you know, I can't really comment on Manchester. I do know that Liverpool was voted most important music city via poll.
True enough.
So, Karl, you're making noises while I'm talking.
Yeah, but you do this all the time trying to wind me up. And I'm not saying Manchester's the best place in the world, but what I'm saying is, there's bits of it that I really miss.
Yeah.
Like last Sunday, right? When I'd met up with Ricky, we had spaghetti bolognese, which was alright. And then I said to him, I need some soil.
Damn, I wish you'd invited me, it sounds amazing.
Said I need some soil, what do you think?
You need some what, soil?
Soil, yeah.
I need to repot a plant, right?
Yeah.
So,
You need to repot a plant?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
So, I'm like, where, you can't see these shops in London.
You
Do you know what I mean? There's nothing around.
I took him straight to one in my street.
Yeah, but near your street, and that's probably the only one in London.
Well, you say that, Karl.
No, it does annoy me. Round my way, it's like, you know...
You can't move for soil shops.
You can't. There's earth, you can just pick up handfuls walking down the street.
Yeah, incredible.
Which
People
is-
just lean over into someone's front garden. No, you
Yeah.
can take the plants as
Yeah.
well.
No, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is,
Go on.
Manchester, there's loads of decent hardware shops.
Yeah.
Here, you know, if you want a panini and a latte or whatever, you can't move from. But for soil, I had to go virtually how many miles away from me to carry that soil home and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not good. I mean, London's alright, but if cities were sort of marked...
It's neglecting the peat. Market, really,
Well,
isn't
there's barely any mulch available for it in central London.
I'm sick and tired of not getting a good decent compost of a Sunday.
Indeed.
So,
It sickens
you know,
me.
I'm thinking of moving to the north,
Yeah.
where there is loads of soil and gravel
Indeed.
and animal shite.
whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, you were going to say if you were marking cities out of 10, what would you give London?
Well, if you were marking them on, like, you know, on what they have,
Right.
as opposed to what?
well, as opposed to...
How
The
you
name.
spell it.
Say, like, I think the greatest city in the world is Rome. Right,
Okay.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Have you been?
What? Yeah. Why do you think that though?
Just because, like, you turn a corner and there's something there that's really old. Right. Like, you're going down Normal Street.
Go and stay in a Derby and Joan club.
Yeah.
No, but it's like you're going down the road and then you turn a corner and like the Colosseum's in the middle of a busy road. It's like, what's that doing there?
Yeah.
And just when you think there's no more, you turn another corner.
It's almost as if that was there first.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? London.
Yeah.
What have we got? You know, Trafalgar Square's world known. And you go there, what's that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, there's a lot of space there. Get one big B&Q.
In Trafalgar Square.
To cater for the whole of people who live sort of central Londonish.
Yeah.
And then I'd be happy, but what I'm saying
with Nelson just popping up through the middle? Because you can still see it, couldn't you?
Yeah. It's a great
B&Q, so B&Q could be like the whole sort of flat thing and make it sort of grey so it looked like rock, and then Nelson popping
Make it classy is what you're saying.
Yeah. Stone clad it. So it looks like you've made an effort.
Exactly.
And then you can pop in, and then you can go out and go, oh look, Nelson's column. Oh look at that, isn't Nelson, oh look at that, the victory, defeat, that's fantastic, one of the greatest living. I need some nails.
Yeah. Perfect. Killing two birds with one stone, you say?
But why isn't there more than them shops? Because when I went into yours, every time I've been in there twice now. The first time was to get a shower head, right?
Right.
And I went in there, couldn't resist buying something else, I ended up getting some super glue as well.
Blimey. Hey, big spender.
And then, last Sunday we went in there, got 2 bags of soil, not one, I bought 2.
Yeah.
And I bought some scissors to cut plants with.
Secateurs.
Well, you don't,
Scissors.
you never know when you want, you know, you might need more soil, I suppose.
Well, I've got
You've
2.
stocked out now. Where'd you keep it, under your bed?
Sorry, this isn't going out, is it, this conversation? It's not going out on air.
I got a feeling it might be.
You're joking. We better play a record.
Okay.
Play a classic. I hate to say I told you so on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, obviously. With me, Steve Merchant. And Karl Genius Pilkington.
Absolutely. I was watching a bit of TV.
Karl the Brain Pilkington.
Yeah, the brains. I was watching a bit of TV last night, Rick.
Go on.
And I had a little
Children
thought.
Need?
No, I didn't watch Children Need.
No,
I was watching something, I think it was last night, it was a bit earlier. I had a little thought for lads that might be out tonight, you know, on the Raz.
Yeah.
Maybe they get a little bit of success with the ladies.
Yeah.
This was something that struck me as I was watching it. A lot of gentlemen, you know, when they're engaged in, you know, an act of, you know, relations with a lady, they like to sort of, you know, think of an image or something that will prevent them from, you know, and you catch my drift. We're men in the world.
Grandmother's funeral is the cliche, isn't it?
Exactly. And I'll tell you what I think it should be. Rick Waller jogging. I was watching Fit Club. I have never seen anything
I
like
liked it when
Rick.
Harvey lost it with him.
Oh man alive. I mean, I know I slag him off, but I don't really like him either. I just think he comes across appallingly, and I think, you know,
when he just walked away in that mid-conversation talking to that bloke, they're doing it for his good, really.
But he's like 31 stone?
I think he lost a bit. I think he's 29 now. Don't exaggerate, Steve. You make him sound like a fat.
But you know, I mean, yeah.
That was close, wasn't it?
When having sex, you know, apparently, thinking of, Rick Waller. helps.
Oh, don't look what's happened.
Exactly.
That's the reverse effect.
Yeah.
Oh no, me and Karl.
No, if you're with a lady, apparently that works.
I know, he's out now, isn't he? He's out.
Did he walk out?
I think so, I think that's it, from what I can...
No, I think next week they kick him out, because I read something about, they get rid of him next week, because of his attitude, and first time I read it, I thought he'd actually ate someone's hat. But it was...
You lost me.
Got rid of him because of the attitude. Oh!
Everything you think of now is puns. You can't get puns out of your head, can you?
Oh, Karl, you're great. Look at his little face.
He's so pleased. How long have you been working on that?
You've gotta give him that. That was a real joke. Look at his face. He knew it was funny. It was meant to be funny. He said it to be funny, and it was. Well done. Well done.
I'm just interested, I just want to dissect it, because it was brilliant, and I'm wondering, how long have you been working on it?
About 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, it's good stuff, it was worth the wait.
I got it now.
Oh, well done.
The attitude.
Well, I don't think, there's only one band that can top that. Another band from Manchester. Oasis.
Oh.
Vines. And this is Jackson on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Right. Getting towards that time where Karl really kicks into action. We've got the quiz, we've got Rockbusters, the quiz that's a bit like Blockbusters but mainly around music Yeah, and a pun, a scenario, based in wordplay by Karl. You know how good he is at that.
Can I tell you what the prizes are this week? Because they're worth playing for.
Please do.
Okay, we got on DVD the Manic Street Preacher's Greatest Hits on DVD. The videos, I'm assuming. The film Human Traffic, it's a remixed DVD version of that. I think we were giving this away last week. You've obviously got a bulk stock of these. Groove Armada's Love Box, an album from them. The best air guitar album in the world ever. That's got the likes of Queen, Adams, Palmer, Leopard, Idol. I don't see it.
I think the Smiths should be on there.
We got Purple, Wolf, Cooper, Top, Quo, and, Nickelback. Now there was another one around actually. I seem to have lost one of the prizes, Carl. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is, you may have seen this advertised on TV, the Best Bands Ever album. And, just imagine who this is aimed at. It's got, Oasis on there, Nickelback, Coldplay, da-da-da. The Dandy Warhols, Bohemian Like You, in brackets, as featured in the Vodafone TV ads. Then it's got Smash Mouth, Walking on the Sun, as featured in the Ford Fiesta TV ads.
It's for people who didn't know they liked indie.
Exactly.
They go, I don't like indie, but you do. Do you like this advert? Yeah. Do you like this advert? Yeah. Well, you like indie then? I do! I love indie!
Can't believe it!
That's great!
Yeah. The Mock Turtles, Can You Dig It? As featured in the Vodafone TV ads.
I really like indie!
Do you love, the T-Mobile TV ad?
Yeah?
You'll love this, it's got Royce Cup on there, which is featured in there. So that's an album for people who don't like music.
That's great, that's coming up, Rockbusters.
But I also have a movie, because you know last week I gave away Executive Decision.
Yeah.
That was on TV last night,
yes.
so you didn't receive my copy.
But they probably watched it before it was on TV.
Yeah.
A few days before.
I was clearing out, Rick, last night. I found another one which might be just to entice people.
Go on. What is it?
It's
coming out the bag.
The Pelican Brief.
Oh!
Another arbitrary film choice on VHS. Pelican Brief. Roberts, Washington. You know,
get it now on VHS before there are no more VHSs around.
It was $6.99. I'm giving that away as well.
That's great,
Pelican
and that's
Brief.
his personal collection.
That's from my personal collection.
Did you see that picture, Karl?
I don't think it's even rewound from when I watched it.
Really?
No, it's not. You can rewind that yourself.
Brilliant. That's a little touch of Steve Merchant there.
Exactly.
Did you see that picture that he brought in?
I have actually. Can I see it again, Carl? Yeah, it's just a picture. You carry it with you, do you?
Well, no. He found it, right?
Last week I was sorting it, because I'm moving. I'm sorting all my, files out and that. And, because this is the only school picture.
So he had one school picture taken when he was that 10 in 1981?
I was about 8 and 9.
Okay, tell the story. Why is that the only school picture you had taken?
Just because, no, I had them all, I was always had them taken, right? But my dad thought they were overpriced for what you get. Because really, he said that the whole idea of a good picture is like, not only the person that's in it, but like the surroundings.
Yeah.
So like, if you're on holiday, he'll look at me and he'll go, oh yeah, you're looking well there. What's that hill in the background? Or something like that. Whereas with
that's Rick Waller, catching up.
But all you get on these school pictures is like a blue background, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it was like, I'm not paying for that.
Sure.
And it was a big one, you get a bigger one than that, but that's just like a little passport size, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
That was £1.60. Okay. And he wasn't really happy paying that, because he said you could get like some done from True Print for a lot cheaper.
That he could take himself.
Yeah.
So, and so did he tell you at the time that was the last time he was paying for a school picture?
He said, I'll get you one, because it's good to have a picture of you at school.
Yeah.
Because they hardly ever went and all that. So he said, like...
What's that in the background? That's my school dad. Oh,
I don't recognise it. You got any interesting stories about it? Not really.
So, I was a good-looking kid there, wasn't I?
What are you doing with your mouth, though, Karl? It looks like you're it looks like a bit like you're a ventriloquist dummy.
What do you mean?
Well, it looks like you sort of scrunching your mouth up, or pursing your lips or something. Do you not think?
Oh.
I mean, now you've got, dare I say it, very kissable lips. So in here, look how thin they are. Look at those little thin lips. It's like you...
I'm smiling.
That's a smile?
That's what I didn't recognise that either.
I didn't realise that was a smile.
Is that what you look like when you smile?
Oh.
Oh.
What's happening with the head?
Had your dad seen you smile before then?
Well, I think that's why he wanted to buy one as well. That's like, so he can remember what it was like.
Right.
Because I don't smile.
When did you stop smiling? When was the last time you had fun and you just like happy-go-lucky? When can you remember when you had no weight of the world on your shoulders?
I often think that. Because I don't sleep like I did, like when I was a kid. I had really good sleeps, and now I don't.
Right.
So, I think...
But you've got a lot of things on your mind, you know, where can I buy soil?
Yeah, how can I confuse a computer by tapping in Y in the search engine?
Yeah. Probably when I was 14 I was stress-free.
Were you?
Yeah.
When was the paper round?
Probably when I was 15.
Right. That's when it started, was it?
I reckon. That's when I started getting stressed.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the haircut you've got in the, because obviously I've not seen you before with hair, and it's an interesting mop. Do you have that done at the barber's?
No, my mum used to do it.
She cut that?
Yeah.
Right,
She used to, what she used to do, you can't see it in that picture, but there was one where she did, bit of a mess of it. I mean, it looks quite
I can't tell from this picture.
No, but that's one of the better ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right. Were you bullied much?
on one of them, she used to, like, use a bit of newspaper in front of my eyes, so she didn't, like, stick these scissors in my eyes.
So newspaper stops scissors every time.
Yeah, because I think they use that for bulletproof vests.
Yeah, the tough fabric of a reconstituted newspaper will stop the scissor any time.
No, definitely. I remember, because I know a lot of UN guys when they're on patrol, they use some old copies of The Sun.
They put it in their pocket.
Yeah, the Daily Star.
Sorry, yeah, okay, yeah.
So, she used to always be on a Sunday night when, like, Songs of Praise is on or something, nothing was on the telly, just before Last of Summer Wine or something.
Yeah.
And she used to get the,
What a depressing time that was.
It was.
Having your hair cut and listening to Songs of Praise, waiting for Last Summer Wine.
Yeah.
I always used to get depressed on Sunday nights.
Well, I'll tell you
and it wasn't because school was the next morning, it was because the telly was so shite.
I think it was because school was next morning, because Antiques Roadshow still does that for me. I see the Antiques Roadshow, I love it, but I'm just thinking I've got to go to school or work tomorrow.
Yeah.
The Roadshow, I wish they put it on the week.
But I know, I've never really had that. When I worked, I suppose. I work now. Don't I? No. Oh, what a giveaway. What a giveaway.
Sorry, you were telling us a story about...
So anyway, she'd get the, newspaper.
Right.
And she'd stick it in front of my eyes. And,
what does that say? Go on.
So she'd
You inherited a lot from your mum, didn't you?
So she'd cut me fringe, right?
Yeah.
But then she'd go, oh, it's not straight. It's not very good. So she'd go again, and she'd keep going, and the problem
is that why you're bald now?
I was saying, is this, you have got hair, but she has to get it right.
Yeah.
It takes her to the back of your neck to get it even.
Yeah. She sort of removed the newspaper, and she was like, oh, God. I said, what? She goes, oh, I'm sorry. And like...
What, did this happen every Sunday?
No. Can I ask you, Carl, when she was cutting your hair in this picture, do you think she was maybe sidetracked by an interesting article in the paper and really wasn't paying attention to what she was doing?
Or did her favourite hymn come on?
Yeah,
and
indeed.
she started
or Compo was rolling down the hill.
In a bar.
So yeah, I ended up with, like, you know, a fringe sort of on the back of my head, because she just kept going further and further.
Sure.
But,
when did you start going to that barber that was on the railway station?
That's when I started work, so, you know, sort of 16, 17.
Okay. And is he the one that said you have the hair of a Chinaman?
He's the one who's, yeah.
He sounds like a wise man.
Well, can I just stop? I think maybe we should play a tune, but maybe you could bring in some photos next week, Rick, and we can talk about them on the radio.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna do a card trick. Right, take a card. Any card. Yeah. Right, look at it. Is that your card?
Boy with the Arab strap, Belle and Sebastian. Coming next, Educating Ricky.
You too, Electrical Storm. Steve, am I mental, or have we been playing some great tunes
We've
today?
been playing some great tunes. You're not mental. You're a genius.
Yeah. On XFM 104.9, Gervais would be Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl Pilkington in the chair now. The talked about, the acclaimed Educating Ricky.
Right, well, just in case anyone's new, doesn't normally listen, basically, I'm educating Ricky. Do a bit of research in a week, find stuff, news, history, anything that's interesting. 3 stories, I give them a nice little headline. You take your pick. Between now and 3, you're gonna learn 3 things. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, the headlines are, I'll be no buying one of them.
Give us that again.
I'll be no buying one of them.
Nice, okay.
Yeah. We've also got, hippopotamus.
Okay. Okay.
And, can you believe it?
Can you believe it?
Well, I'm gonna go for hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus?
Hippopotamus.
Right, well this one, it's, I'm not gonna take the credit here. I heard Christian talking about this on breakfast, right? Because it's a good story that happened. Basically, I don't know if I told you about it last week when we were having our spaghetti. But,
I think you did.
Right,
I know what it is. I know what this is.
Okay, I've not heard this.
Right, there's a little midget. Right, there's a circus.
I'm loving it already.
Circus going on somewhere. I think it was in America. And,
is that present day or old times?
I'm talking, like, in the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
Right? Little midget, circus, really packed out show, people are loving it.
Right, Steve, you'll ask the same question I did, I know.
So there's a little midget jumping up and down on a trampoline.
What's
Right.
I'd pay good money to see it.
So everyone's clapping, and he's getting carried away.
Because he can't believe they're loving it. I didn't know they'd like a little person on a trampoline, but they love me.
But you know what it's like when, if there's a crowd of people sort of encouraging you to sort of go higher and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he knew it was getting out of hand. But he was jumping and he was coming down, they're all going higher, and he's going really high in the air, right? So he's doing this, crowd are clapping. There's a hippo, right, just sat next to the trampoline, getting ready to come on and do his act.
Oh, right, I thought he was in the audience.
That's it, getting ready to do his act, Steve.
Yeah. So
he's a ventriloquist.
What do you mean he's sitting by the trampoline waiting to do his act?
Because it's
why does he sit in the dressing room and they go, 5 minutes, Mr. Muss, 5 minutes, Mr. Muss.
So anyway, right, so the hippo's there,
he's getting annoyed, is he, because the midget's
he's going, how can I follow this? This is really annoying, they're gonna be, no.
So,
he's thinking, he's already done the trampoline, my pogo stick act is never gonna work.
Yeah, go on, so there's a hippo waiting. See, it's a great story, and I just know he embellishes it, or he gets slightly wrong. Go on.
So
there's a midget jumping up and down, the hippo's getting annoyed.
The crowd are going mad, the midget's loving it, can't believe his luck. Although you think, he probably knows he's dicing with danger.
Yeah. So, next thing you know, they're all saying higher. He gives it one big, like, heavy sort of landing on the trampoline, goes really high, but goes off at a funny angle.
Oh.
Hypotenuse.
Okay.
Yeah. And sort of flies up.
Hypotenuse!
Sure.
Flies off at a funny angle.
Oh, dear.
Hippo's there, swallows him whole. Crowd are clapping, thinking that's why the hippo was waiting there.
Rubbish. Rubbish.
It's not rubbish though.
But no, maybe there was an accident in a circus with a midget and a hippo, but at no point was this hippo waiting to go on, going, come on. The midget flew off at hypotenuse and landed in the hippo's mouth and was swallowed whole. This is what you embellish it. That is great. And what's that?
I have to say though, Rick, when I heard midget, trampoline, hippopotamus, I was thinking accident waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Maybe? I mean.
It is that, you should never put those three together.
Never.
It's a recipe for disaster. Everyone knows that. Midget, trampoline, hippopotamus. Are you mental?
You're asking for trouble.
Well.
You know, when he told me it, he said, and the midget, he didn't mention the hippopotamus, and he said the midget went on, and soon he fell off, and the hippo ate him. And I said, sorry, what was the hippo doing there? He went, it's a circus.
I've never heard of a circus having a hippo.
What do hippos do?
What can they do? You can't train them, can you?
What do you...
Aren't they, like, very deadly? They're huge, aren't they?
You can't have a hippo in a circus.
Are you sure?
You're not thinking of Zippo?
He's neither clown.
Yeah. No, and it wasn't some sort of, where Zippo was eating a midget, and it's some sort of horrible sexual act.
No, it was definitely, I heard it on breakfast, right?
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, it's definitely fact.
Yeah, okay, right,
truth.
okay, good. Well, let's play a record then. I'd like to play a classic Springsteen. We're all fans of Springsteen there. This might be his debut album, I'm not sure. Greetings from Raspberry Park.
I think it is, yeah.
New Jersey. And this is Growing Up. It's great, it's classic. Springsteen and Growing Up off of, Asbury Park album. Great. They make you feel good, Springsteen, doesn't he?
He's a joy. He's an absolute joy. Rockbusters.
This is what they're all reading and writing about.
Absolutely. Before you get the clues, let me just remind you of the prizes you're playing for. We've got the Manic Street Preachers' Greatest Hits on DVD. We've got the film Human Traffic on DVD. We've got the Best Air Guitar Album 2 on CD. Groove Armada's, is this their current album?
Yeah.
I guess it's not selling very well. They're still trying to promote that. You can have that as well. If you are a fan of the Ford Fiesta TV ad, of the Vodafone TV adverts, you will love the...
You didn't think you liked indie? Well, you do.
Exactly, and that's got, Feeder and Travis and Badly Drawn Boy and all sorts on there. Plus, my own copy, $6.99 it cost me, The Pelican Brief, starring Julia Roberts and Denzel Washington. If you've not seen that, panned and scanned on VHS. So what are the clues?
Do you know that a pelican, I read the other day, that has to turn its head upside down to eat?
Give us the clues.
So, Rockbusters...
Well, let me just explain. A bird has a gullet, an esophagus and a gullet, it's all in one thing. It hasn't got peristalsis, which is the movement that we have that can make food. So a bird can only rely on gravity.
Yeah.
so it has to have its head up and has to shake. It can't eat.
You were going to say that, weren't you, Carl?
Yeah. So, Rockbusters, you mentioned it earlier, one of last week's was, it's a cryptic clue and then some initials. I was in Texas, I fell in a puddle on my knees got wet, WH, wet knee, Houston.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing we...
Use of the word knee twice there in the cryptic clue and in the final
And the word
answer.
wet, I think you're
Yeah, which is wit.
Right.
So fine, good.
So, there's 3 of them. It's email only, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Sure.
Load of stuff to win. Here they go. Right, the first one.
I'm writing these down. Go on.
Make a note of them.
The fella has only got 1 badge left.
The fella has only got 1 badge left.
Yeah.
What are the initials?
That's just E.
Just E. Oh, just E.
Just E. The fella has only got 1 badge left.
This is either a solo artist or a band.
Yeah. Second one. The unmarried lady is a friend I eat out with.
Say that again?
The unmarried lady is a friend I eat out with.
The unmarried lady is a friend I eat out with.
Yeah.
What's the initial?
MD.
MD.
MD. And finally, I really love that woman. I love everything she does. That's M. Now,
Give us that one again.
I really love that woman. I love everything she does.
And that's...
Right. M.
Right, now I've got that one.
Right.
Okay.
So,
It's great. That's lovely.
So,
That's great.
I think the second and third one's quite easy. First one is a killer.
Is it tricky?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. So, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, and what, we pick a winner out at about 1:45 or something like that?
2, yeah, absolutely.
No, 2:45, what am I talking about?
2:45.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's dynamite stuff. Well done, Carl.
Excellent.
More educating Ricky next.
Yeah.
Beck, Lost Cause on XFM 104.9. Wow. Carl, we haven't had a lot of emails. They're tough.
I'm struggling.
Yeah.
I've got one, and I'm struggling with 2, but I know one of the words, but I can't think of the band that fits it unless the clue's wrong, and I've got no idea with the first one, E.
Give us them again.
So
Just
give 'em
quickly recap. Number 1, the fella has only got 1 badge left. That's E. Second one, the unmarried lady is a friend I eat out with. That's MD. And the last one, I really love that woman. I love everything she does. That's M.
Well, Ricky, what is it, Ricky?
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
So keep those coming in. If there's no winner, we don't know whether to give it to the person who gets the most right first, or have a massive rollover. And, what a Christmas booty that would be, as Carl said. All those... Imagine what you could have... indecent proposal, maybe.
Who knows?
You know what I mean?
I've got some real junk, so I can bring that in.
Yeah. The mean machine.
Imagine
with
someone
Vinnie
this
Jones.
Christmas. Yeah, exactly. This Christmas, I can't believe it. Oh, thank you so much for the Pelican brief. I noticed you'd left the price on.
And it's on VHS as well.
Oh, great.
Brilliant.
This is perfect Christmas gift, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. Okay. Now,
Some
so
quite
that's going.
mediocre CDs.
That's
The
going.
perfect
That's
Christmas
going
gift.
on. That's a big prize. It's a big weekend prize on XFM. Educating Ricky, part 2. Right. What's the clues left?
Well, we've got left the headlines. I'll be no buying one of them.
Yeah.
And we've also got chicken. You believe it? Chicken. You believe it? So they're the 2 that are left. Which one's you going for?
Chicken, you believe it, is not that picture, is it? That we saw.
Which picture?
The bloke with the...
No.
Right, okay.
God, that was bad.
Right, okay,
so...
I was about to explain
We
that.
can't really discuss this on air, can we?
Well, we can. Steve brought in, Carl, the best book ever, which is, what is it?
I found it when I was moving house. It's an FHM publication. It's kind of like lots of grotesque pictures and stories, and like the book of a book of freaks and weirdos and
And Carl opened it, and the first one was like...
At the back.
At the back.
Well, you couldn't believe your luck, could you?
What was it? What was number 50?
A bloke with 2 heads.
And he said, what's number 1?
Yeah.
And then number 6, there's a bloke who's a squid or something.
Octopus.
Yeah. yeah. He's loving it. At number 1, he said, well, it's just a fella under a rock. And I went, oh no, read on, I think I know about this. And it's the fella that was found, he caused a landslide while having sex with a chicken. And they pulled him off, and there he is, the chicken owner.
Right,
so Carl could not believe his luck. So it's not that.
Chicken, you believe it?
I'll have that one,
You're
then.
going for that one?
Yeah.
Right, well, we've talked a lot on the show about,
We talked a lot on the show.
Yeah, about animals without heads.
We haven't! We haven't! We No, we talked about cockroaches could live without a head for 7 days.
Yeah, we talked about that, and then of course there was the the well-known one about the fella who had his head cut off, and he
blinked.
He said to his mate, "Count how many times I blink when my head comes off."
Yeah, when you told it to me, you said his head came off, and he said, as he said in the basket, he said, "Quick, count how many times I blink." And it was Nick Frost that had to go, "No, Carl, no, he said it before." I went, and that was lovely. So yeah, we've talked quite a lot about things heads coming off. Go on then.
Well, this one, right? Back in 1945.
You looked up the date.
It's got a specific date. Wow.
Mate Jonathan sent this one. You know him as well. It's a lad at the BBC, right? He emailed this one in. So thanks for that. Chicken. It's called Mike.
There's a chicken called. Sorry, I missed a bit there. There's a chicken called Mike.
Chicken called Mike.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
What happened was it was living on a farm, right? Loads of chickens knocking about, and the owner of the farm is like, you know, getting ready for tea, and his wife says, "Go out and get a fresh chicken, 'cause my mum's coming round." So he thinks, well, I want to get a good one in, 'cause I want to impress her. 'Cause back then, even then, they wanted to impress the mother-in-law and that. So they said, "All right, I'll just nip out and get one." So he sees Mike, chicken, running around.
Is this during the war or after the war?
1945. I'd say that was after.
No, ended. Well,
it ended in 1945.
Yeah, September. Go on.
So, chicken's running about, he thinks that one that looks alright, I'll have that one.
Mikey.
So he picks it up, and he cuts its head off.
Oh.
Puts it on the block, cuts its head off, runs about a bit, like they do. He thinks it'll stop in a minute, keeps running about. Oh, what's going on here? Right? He's now, like, chasing the chicken without an head.
Yeah.
He's saying it should die in a minute. Anyway, doesn't die. Chicken's walking around with no head. Lives for 18 months.
Yeah.
Chicken with no head.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Well, I'll tell you, I've heard this story before, Rick, and the explanation, as I understand it, was that certain vital cords, spinal cords, weren't severed when the head came off. So that was why it continued to live.
Yep.
I don't know if that sounds plausible.
It's fine. Absolutely fine. How did it take on protein and energy?
The fella who owned it, he said, well, hang on a minute, he said, I could kill it now.
But I've got a wonder chicken here.
But he's thinking, it must really want to live.
Sure.
Right? If it survived that, they've sort of got something here.
Yeah.
So what he does, he gets a little, eye droplet thing that he used to use on it. Obviously not anymore, right? And he filled it with grain and water, and it had a big hole in its neck where its head used to be. And he,
incredibly.
And he dropped.
You know what? I mean, that is possible then. If it, without infection, without infection, if he was taking on things, it is possible, right? Why?
Why what?
Why did he do it? How cruel is that? I mean, that was not cruel because the chicken obviously, He said if he thought it was a bit fed up, he would have killed it. He said, but it was running around quite happy. Well, it wasn't fed up at all because it had no brain.
Well,
what do you mean? Wow.
I'm just saying what
it was nothing. It was just sinew and nerves and electrical impulses breaking down energies. Right. That's all it was. It didn't have a brain. So it was. But I'm worried about the psychology of keeping a pet without a head. I'm worried more about what the farmer was thinking than the chicken.
I tell you this. What the question I'm asking is, was the mother-in-law impressed? I mean, that's why he set out. That's why he set out to shot Mike's head off.
This is lovely, but it's just the head where you don't kill a chicken like that all at once.
I thought we were having chicken for dinner. Come and look at this, running around the yard.
Yeah. Oh dear.
So, there you go. You've learnt something there.
Yeah, I have learnt something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. One more.
That farmer, I've learnt that farmer was very strange indeed.
There you go.
I have to say, to be fair to Carl, I have a feeling like when I read it, the reason he kept it alive was as a novelty. He got charged people to come and see the incredible headless chicken called Mike.
Right.
So, here we are.
That's great.
So, tune, Steve?
A tune, yeah. I just thought I'd like to hear a little bit more from that NERD album. We played some of this from then when it first came out many moons ago. Since then it's gone on, it's won awards, all sorts. And obviously NERD now, Nerd, as they're sometimes known, kind of big producers. They're producing Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears, all kinds of people. But this is a track from their album.
I've heard they're wicked.
They are indeed. And this is called Things Are Getting Better. NERD. From their album In Search Of, and that's Things Are Getting Better. After the break we got more Educating Ricky and the results to this week's Rockbusters.
And Richard Ashcroft.
Oh, dynamite.
Richard Ashcroft. Check the Meaning on XFM 104.9 on Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant. Carl just remembered a little story he was excited to tell you.
Okay.
Go on.
Oh, are you going to tell him?
Oh, okay. When we went into this cafe last week after Carl had got his soil, we got 2 big bags of soil. I was going, get a bag for me. And he was like, no, I can walk home. After about 10 yards, he was going, oh, my arms hurt. So he had to get a cab. So we stopped in this cafe, he had spaghetti bolognese. You were loving it, weren't you?
It was good, it was a good little day out.
And there was a woman that worked there, and she sort of, I could see her sort of looking at me. And she said, and then she came over and said, are you off the telly? And I went, yeah. She went, yeah, Chris Moyles.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
And I just laughed, and we both started laughing. She went, no, sorry, I said, no, I'm not, Chris, what's your name? And I went, and I had to say it, I went, Ricky Gervais. She went, oh, no. She went, oh, the thing in the office. I went, yeah.
No, the funny thing was, she went and said,
oh, no, I saw you on
Jonathan Ross.
Jonathan Ross, that's it, yeah.
So she'd obviously watched the Jonathan Ross show thinking, Chris Moyles has, you know, lost his looks a bit or whatever. That's what I found funny, the fact that she must have watched it thinking that...
Yeah, she went, no, I saw you the other day, and I was like, yeah, she went, oh, and then we were still sort of laughing, I was thinking, she went, oh, sorry to be back, I was going, no, it's fine, I was thinking, yeah, imagine that, just like,
God.
Great, there's not a better one to pick.
That's just appalling.
Oh, that was lovely. It's the second time as well.
But you've been mistaken for Chris Moyles?
Yeah.
Oh man, you've got to feel bad about that.
I've had Moyles, I've had, Vegas a few times.
Johnny Vegas, yeah, I can imagine.
So, yeah.
Do you think, like, people are going up to Moyles going, you do that thing about working in an office?
Yeah, well, dunno. I don't know whether I hope that or not.
I don't know, it depends what he answers.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I thought you were going to say that, are you Chris Moyles? No, what's your name, Ricky Gervais? Never heard of you. That'd be brilliant.
So, yeah, okay, right. Educating Ricky, number 3.
Ricky, yes.
Well, we've got the emails in.
Yeah, people are they're finally trickling in. I think people are getting them.
People have got the full 3 right, but I mean, it's still worth emailing in because we never know who we're going to pick as a winner.
I'll tell you what, we've still got 50 minutes before we give the prize out, so let's give them again. Just give us a quick run there, because I think these are tantalising. They really are.
Yeah. So the first one, the fella has only got 1 badge left.
Yeah.
That's E. The second one, the unmarried lady is a friend they eat out with. MD. And the third one, I really, really love that woman. I love everything she does. That's M.
Alright. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. You can win all kinds of prizes.
Educating Ricky,
right,
number 3.
Final one. You've had, hippopotamus. You had chicken, you believe it. And the last one is, I'll be no buying one of them.
I love that one.
Alright. Interesting one, this. I mean, I spent probably 3 days looking for this stuff. Right? And another one that I came across, right? And, I was gonna use, what
a great life you've got!
I was just, you know, going on the internet and that, and I also, looking magazines, found a story about a bloke who, I don't know, he was messing about with a chainsaw and he
I don't know, that's not the chainsaw. He was juggling a midget, and, whilst taking his alligator for a walk, and, go on.
And his arm, come off, right?
Come off? What do you mean his arm come off?
The chainsaw took it off.
Oh, yeah,
so
okay.
It's like, oh.
Again,
anyway,
He's going, oh no.
Oh.
So, there's a picture of him on an exercise bike, sort of just with a little stump sort of balancing, but he's getting on with his life, he's happy and everything's fine, he's not complaining, it's his own fault, he's got no one to blame, right? So anyway, he goes to the doctors, and the doctor says, I can do something there. So he goes, well, it's alright, you know, I'm getting by alright, don't worry about it. And he goes, no, we've got an arm in, right? We can attach that, a real arm, from someone who's, I think they'd passed away or lost an arm or something, and,
they lost an arm and didn't want it back.
Yeah, he went, I love it. Are you using that?
Yeah.
No, because I know someone.
Because I know a bloke, actually.
Yeah. Well, can't you just put this one back on? Well, it's first come, first serve, really.
I was just building a bionic man. We've replaced one arm with a robot's arm, so we got a spare one.
So, the doctor's going, let me put it on, he's like, well, alright then. So
ungrateful bastard.
So, he does the operation, right? Everything's fine, he's loving it, he's happy again because he said he can brush his teeth.
Right, okay, if this is gonna be
he's
something
loving
like...
it again because now he can brush his teeth.
Right, if this is gonna be, and it was a leg, or
No.
it was a chimp's arm, or
it was the arm of a killer.
It was two left arms, right? I'm going to kill you.
Oh, let's leave it then.
What is it? What's the answer?
No, it's not that. I'm just.
What is? Okay, right.
So he says, "Go on and do it." So he sews it on, and like I say, he's happy. He's brushing his teeth. He can have a pint in the pub. He's lifting a pint with it. All his mates are happy for him. It goes on for about 2 years. Everything's fine. Then it all starts going flaky.
Oh, I knew it would.
Was it made of chocolate?
All right. So it all goes all like gammy, and then for some
The
reason
arm starts going gammy.
it goes gammy, and it gets longer.
Of course it does.
So there's a picture of him, right, stood in the magazine. He's stood there with his arms by his side. One arm's normal, the other one is like past his knees. It's he can pull his socks up without bending over.
So is this going to be they gave him the arm of an 8-year-old child who would have been the tallest man in the world?
No, he just said, "Oh, what am I going to do?" And the doctor said, "Oh, there's not much we can do," and left it.
Wait a minute, you can't leave it there.
That's not a story.
So, Carl,
That's not
you've
a
got to
story.
tell us the explanation. Was
What?
it an incredible plastic arm? An incredible expanding arm? Did he fight crime later?
No.
Well, that's the end of the story. You've got no scientific explanation as to why...
That's why I didn't pick it.
But you just told it to us anyway!
Yeah, but I'm just saying the sort of knowledge I come over when I'm looking for the good knowledge. Yeah?
So that
Why did
hasn't
his
even
arm
made the
grow?
list.
Why did this arm grow? He must have had an adult arm. They couldn't have given him an arm.
I don't know. It's just one of them.
It's rubbish again,
It's
isn't
not...
it?
Well, I don't... It's an interesting story, but you should
It's
have...
not, and it's rubbish.
But you
It
should
didn't
have read to
happen.
the end. There was photos.
Yeah.
But you should have read to the end of the article, Carl.
No, I did. And he said, you know, he's not happy and he wishes he wouldn't have had it done and all that, and, you know.
Are you sure this wasn't entirely unexpected?
No, seriously, he was saying, you know, his teeth are nice and clean again because he could brush them and that, but his arm's getting in the way. Ruining his shirts and everything. So I'll leave that.
Let's play a tune, let's come back with the next one, because I love the fact that this is like Ronnie Corbett telling one of his jokes, that's ironic. That wasn't even the story, he was gonna tell us.
Play it, record. Oh, God. That's alright, isn't it? Travis, level come through, quite like that, on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington in the chair. We've had the answers in. It's Rockbusters. It's the results. Carl, give us the winning answers.
Right, Steve, you search for a winner.
I will.
At random. We can slip into that. So, the first one was, the fella's only got one badge left.
I have no idea.
The initial was E.
Go on.
Will I get out the answer now,
Yeah,
Steve?
give the answer, yeah.
I think you should.
That was his last sticker. Yeah?
Elastica, the band Elastica. I'm not
doesn't
sure.
work.
No.
Doesn't work.
The word sticker and a badge are not interchangeable.
And it's not his last sticker, it's Elastica.
Yeah, but, like, his last sticker. So, someone's got it.
Oh! So say a different word and it works. Oh, so if the band is Elastica, then it works. God, if only Justin would have named it different. If she'd have just gone, let's call it Islastica, then we'd have, yeah.
Second one.
What was the clue?
The unmarried lady is a friend he ate out with.
Go on.
That's Miss Dynamite.
Miss Dynamite.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, but it's been running for 4 weeks. We've done the obvious ones.
Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Miss Dynamite.
Again, if she'd have called herself Miss Dynamite, it would work. She didn't. See, what's happening is pop stars are letting you down by naming themselves incorrectly for your clues. Those don't work. They don't count.
And the last one, I really, really love that woman. I love everything she does. That was M.
Yeah.
That was Madonna.
Yeah, Madonna. I'm gonna give you that. That worked, yeah. Right, that's the end of that feature, until you can get ones that work. Okay, so you won't hear any more of that, because it's rubbish. You're running out already. Do you just think of the first 3 things that come in your mind and make them fit? Just think of 3 bands and make a clue, and if it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter.
I just went through the
Rubbish. It was rubbish.
Whatever.
Right, play a record.
Hang on, we've got a winner.
We have. Actually, you say all this, Rick, but lots of people got them right. Which,
yeah, so
I don't know what that proves, really. I don't know if that says, you know, you're the tosser or
Or they're as stupid as Carl?
one or the other.
Okay.
But, I'm gonna give it to Simon and Daisy in Hitchin. They, got the right answers, and, well done to them. They get the Pelican Brief and some other treats.
Serves you right.
I look forward to
Serves you right for understanding Carl. Suede's new one. Obsessions. On XFM 104.9. Well, I'm Ricky Gervais, obviously, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Well, Carl, that's about it, and, we got sidetracked on the last Educating Ricky. You telling me about a man whose arm grew.
Well, something went wrong. I'm not saying it grew, just saying...
What? The rest of him shrunk?
It went long.
It went long. What, is that growing there? What do you mean it went long? Did it grow, or what, did it come loose?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, so it was hanging by a thread which made it look long? Within the skin?
It's like how you can stretch a pair of tights if something is too heavy.
Arms are very much like tights. They are very much like tights.
The one that we didn't get round to on Educating Ricky was, I'll be no buying one of them.
Go on.
Are you familiar with the saying white elephant?
Something is a white elephant. Yeah, I don't think so.
Hold on. You phoned me last night and said, what does white elephant mean? And I told you.
Yeah, I know, but I know where it came from, but I just was wondering what it was about.
So how, in what way is Educating Ricky you calling me up and asking me something?
Well, do you know how it came about?
You've given away some of the secrets of the show there, it would appear. I didn't realise he was phoning you for information.
Well, he just asked me what the term white elephant meant in sort of like colloquial...
Did he say, why are you interested, Carl? No reason.
No, go on.
Well, what it is, ages ago when...
So what do we understand white elephant to mean?
Well, some of that's useless, that's like a bit of a, you know, something that you wouldn't want around that's just stood there doing nothing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Carl.
So years ago, when people used to use elephants...
Years ago, go on.
When people used to use elephants?
Yeah, more than they do now.
Right.
More than they do now!
This doesn't involve a midget, does it?
No. So, you know, they'd use them in the workplace and stuff.
Sure,
yeah, as factories. Yeah.
To move stuff around and that.
Yeah, security guards.
Yeah. Can't trust them with the buns, though. That's why they stopped using them.
Oh, right. God, go on.
So there was loads of elephants knocking about, and the thing is, right,
you couldn't move from.
If you have a lot of something, you also have a lot of demic ones, don't you?
A lot of what?
You know, sort of demicky ones that aren't right, really.
Demicky?
Well, you know, like, they weren't properly. They weren't
properly. Sorry, what, Carl? What are you doing?
Right, I'm getting to the story. So what I'm telling you is...
They were a bit demicky, so they weren't properly.
Have you started making words up?
Right. Yeah, you Stanley Unwin.
Listen.
Reincarnated.
Demicky?
Yeah.
There was a lot of albino elephants knocking about.
Okay. Where is this?
Olden times.
Africa.
Yes! Should we say Africa?
Yeah. If an answer's got a question mark at the end, I'm not sure
it's either Africa or India, but I'll give you a clue. Well, these elephants, do they have big ears or little ears?
I didn't sort of notice the size of the elephants. What I noticed is they were white, because they were albino elephants.
Okay.
Right? So... that's why they're heading, I'll be no buying one of them.
Okay.
Right?
No buying one of them.
So, what would happen is, people who didn't know what they were doing, like, you know, you get people making a mistake buying cars that are full of problems and that. Back then, when people were buying elephants, they'd go up to someone and say, I'm after an elephant, and the fellow would say, yeah, I've got one here for you, this is a nice one. And it was all white and stuff, and it had, like, blue eyes.
You should never trust a used elephant salesman.
It was just this elephant that's white with blue eyes.
Right.
This is great.
So a fellow who didn't know what he was doing would buy the elephant, and he'd get it back, and it'd be all sort of lazy and stuff, and what we're doing and stuff. And he'd say, what's up with this? And his mate, who's a bit of an expert with elephants, and go, oh, where have you bought that from? And he'd say, oh, I got it off that fella, and he goes, oh...
all this embellishing nonsense he does with the story.
You shouldn't have bought that. So he goes, why? And he says, it's only albino, isn't it? And he's like, what does that mean? And he said, oh, it gets tired. It's not that good at doing work and that, you shouldn't have bought it.
It steals from you.
But elephants back then were like a god. You know what I mean?
Right.
You couldn't say, oh, I'm sick of this and I'm going to abandon it or anything, because elephants were seen as, like, pretty high up on the chain of things. So they'd end up being stuck with an elephant, that's an albino, couldn't do much, gets tired, basically gets in the way, so they said, that's where they're saying, like, you know, but a bit of a white elephant there.
What do you reckon, Rick?
I feel like I haven't been educated. I feel like I've lost something. So that time in my life that I can never get back. I feel like I've sort of been soiled, and I don't know where to start. I'm angry. Do you know what I mean? I'm angry.
Sure, yeah, I can see that.
And all that rubbish around. Look at his little face.
Well,
what was that? All that shit about a second-hand elephant salesman and his mate knew about elephants. What is it? What are they had blue eyes. What are you?
Well,
albinos have red eyes for a start.
Oh, that's it. We've run out of time.
Oh, what? I mean, what are you going to do about this next week? Are you going to actually do some educating next week? And what about Rockbusters? Are you going to make the clues proper cryptic clues?
Well, that's the teaser, isn't it? That's what we'll leave them with.
Will it be any good next week? Tune in and find out on XFM 104.9. Strokes, someday. I'm already annoyed. I've been here 3 minutes and I'm already annoyed.
Yeah. I'll bring back Claire, I'll tell you.
No, it's not his fault. It's the whole place. The library's shite. I tried to get. Oh God, I had to go to Capital Riding.
Chill.
Fancy that. I had to go to Capital Library to get a couple of records I wanted. Right, place is falling apart. The email's not working. It's so shoddy. He's had 2 weeks off. I'm on holiday. I mean, they might as well bulldoze this, honestly, because for all the, you know,
it is ludicrous.
And we get paid peanuts.
You get paid, do you?
Oh, and it really annoys me to have to fight. Oh, anyway.
Anyway, just calm down.
104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl, you're back.
Alright.
How was it?
What, the holiday?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't all fun, was it? Because my dad was in hospital.
Oh, but he wasn't during the holiday. Not during the holiday, though, was he? You came back from holiday and then found that out, didn't you?
Yeah, but it happened when I was on holiday.
Did you know that, though, when you're on holiday?
No, because I didn't take my phone with me.
Well, that's
the weird thing is, I got a feeling. When I was sat there, because it normally happens last
time. Wasn't the nudie speech, was it?
When I first went away
you saw that old fellow with his packet out.
When I went to Ibiza, right, I had a feeling, and I called home, my dad had punctured a lung.
When you say you had a feeling, what do you mean, a feeling?
Just like, oh, I should call home, there's something not right. But this time
a very specific feeling. How did that manifest itself? How did you get that? What kind of feeling? Is that tingling thing?
I'm getting a bit of a lung feeling.
Yeah.
A bit of a dad lung feeling.
That feels like a punctured lung.
Hold on.
But
anyway, the holiday was good. We talked about it last week.
Well, let's probe Karl about his holiday later, because, you know, that's the sort of thing that audiences will stay tuned for, Rick, I'm pretty certain.
Yeah, sure.
Find out about
you know more about this radio business than me. You know, you've hooked them already.
Indeed, yeah. Well, also, I'm thinking we've got nothing.
So now.
We may as well save that.
No, I resent it. I used to put a lot of work in, but no, I think of the money, which is, you know, for me, pretty shoddy.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I don't usually get out of bed for
a lot of cash.
Well, exactly, yeah. And, you know, the whole thing is, the whole setup. It was raining today. I thought, I should have a cabin. You know, and then the sun came out, so I walked in again. Ah, dear.
How are you?
But, I'll tell you what, I got a bit criticised last week as well, that I only played ballads and same songs, so I'm gonna rock out this week.
Oh,
I've been down to the Capital Library to get some good tunes, and, what about a little bit of AC/DC?
Oh.
Took me all night long.
Let's hear it.
Well, that's cheered me up.
In a better mood now?
Yeah.
Good.
That's great. Should we rock out today?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Bit of Led Zeppelin, maybe Stones.
Brilliant, yeah, some of the classics.
Yeah. When are we gonna talk about Karl?
Have we run out of stuff already? Okay, let's go.
Okay, now, yeah.
So where did you go, Karl? What was the story?
It was my birthday, right? Went home after working with you a couple of Saturdays ago, right? Girlfriend was like, open your card, and I said, no, it's my birthday on Monday, I'll open it then.
You obey by the rules, don't you, of birthdays? The birthday rules.
Well, there's no point.
Well, exactly, chaos leads that way.
Yeah, right, so,
not an anarchist, never has been.
So anyway, she was kept going on, and it was doing me head in, so I said, alright, I'll open it.
Yeah.
So I opened it, ticket fell out, surprise holiday to one of the Canary Islands. So...
And what was your reaction? I mean...
First one was, we haven't got enough money.
Right.
For this. But I didn't want to ruin it, so...
No.
So I didn't go on about that, and I said, oh, it'd be great. So I can't wait.
So, did you say it in that tone of voice?
Well, it was good timing, because I was tired and everything. And, I'm not a big holiday fan. No. But the timing was right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the same as last night. I don't always like a curry, but last night...
You're in the mood.
You get that sort of, oh, yeah.
Curry, you had a feeling.
Yeah, you had a feeling.
You thought, oh, and then, lo and behold, like, you were eating the curry. Right. It's weird, isn't it? Isn't it weird, the paranormal? Isn't it weird?
They work in mysterious ways, ghosts.
Yeah.
So anyway, right, the island, if I was on Wish You Were Here, I'd probably say it's a bit barren.
Okay.
Not much there, but if you get a hotel, you guarantee good weather, right?
Are you?
No, what I mean is, it'll be a good holiday. If you get a hotel, right, the weather's always good, so you'll have a nice time.
Yeah, it was a comma, yeah, it was a, yeah, go on.
And all that, and the food was alright, and everything was going alright. I was just having a nice, relaxing time.
And how do you sort of spend your time on a holiday? You just lie around? Is that
sort of holiday, just lying around.
Yeah.
I bought a book.
You bought a book?
Yeah.
Okay, ghosts?
No, it was short stories, right?
About
It was
ghosts?
it was about like special days in our time. Time before me and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, it was telling you about how I think it was 1814, the Thames frozen up.
Yeah.
And all these stories are told by eyewitnesses.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So there's some fella who was around in 1814, and the Thames was frozen, and people used to put market stalls on there, and they'd do the shopping. It was like like an Oxford Street.
Was that Mad Liar Charlie? No, because he's famous for that.
Well, I'm sure, you know.
No, I think that was Mad Liar Charlie.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was reading that, and then after a couple of days was a bit like,
boring.
Yeah, you can only do sort of so much lying around.
And so much reading.
So, Suzanne said, let's go on the beach, have a walk.
You ain't gone on the beach?
Where had you been up to this point then? In your room?
No, just like round the pool, just relaxing and having a swim and that.
Yeah.
So she said, let's go on the beach. I said, alright then, yeah. So, wandered down to the beach, and first impressions are, yeah, it's alright, it's clean.
Your criteria is so basic, it's brilliant.
Right.
Hotel, yes. Roof, good. Food, adequate. Beach, clean. Next.
So I'm walking along, and everything's good, and, you know, there's a woman feeding fish bread, which I thought that's different.
He likes originality. He loves a bit of originality.
He was feeding fish bread?
This woman was there, like, up to her knees in water.
Yeah.
And she was stood
Was
there.
that a sea?
Chucking,
Oh, right, good.
chucking this bread, and I thought, what's she doing? And I stood there and watched for a minute, and there was little fish coming up, having the bread. I thought, oh. So we carried on walking, and, everything's going well, and then this fella comes towards me.
Everything's going well.
Yeah, that's
I haven't fallen over.
Clean feeding bread. 2 points for originality. Yeah.
Fella comes walking towards me.
Oi, oi.
He's only got no pants on.
Oh.
So I said, Suzanne, what's going on?
Why did he turn to her? Like she knows more than him.
So she said, oh, yeah, it's, she said, yeah, it's a nudist.
Is this going to be a long story? Could you pour that coffee? Can you give me that coffee over? Sorry, this is really bad. Yeah, because he's poured... Thank you.
Just amuse yourselves while we sort the coffee.
Thank you very much.
Do you want
I'll have a cup of coffee, Carl. Thanks, yeah, cheers.
Cold. Right, good. Okay.
So...
Great. Thank you.
So she said, yeah, it's a nudist beach. So I said, well, what? I said, we're all it's all mixed up. Normally on a nudist beach, it's a nudist beach, and you don't go wandering on there when you get your clothes on and that. So it annoyed me a bit, because there wasn't any signs. So this fella's getting closer.
Well, the knob out was a sign.
Yeah. Right, so he's getting closer. And he walked past me, it was an old fella. And he walked past and he had a hat on and a little pipe. And a big rucksack on his back. Right, so he got me thinking...
Not strictly naked.
I'm walking along and I'm thinking... Right, why do people want to do this? So straight away, I wasn't on holiday anymore, because most of the time when I'm on holiday I don't think about anything. Right?
Your mind's a blank.
I just switch off. Right? But all of a sudden, this has got in my head now, and I turn around to look at him, and...
Check out his arse.
And this bag, right, I swear, it was massive, right?
What? You had a massive bag?
The bag.
His rucksack?
His rucksack.
Oh, right, okay. When he said there was an old couple coming towards me, I said, what was lower, the bloke's bollocks or the woman's tits? And he said, well, that was another point, she might as well have worn knickers. So that's what he said to me.
So you saw the bag?
So it annoyed me, yeah, because the whole idea in it, this is what I think, I mean, I might be wrong, right? Might be wrong.
Chances are
you never have been before.
Being nudist, right? What's it all about?
So I'll tell you, on that point, Carl, let's play a tune, let's come back and we'll discuss...
What are we going to play?
We'll discuss that very issue. We've got some ideas, we did chat about this last week, Carl, in your absence.
Alright, well, we'll play the Coral.
Okay.
It's a good one, this.
Yeah.
Coral, dreaming of you, on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
If you've just joined us, Karl is walking down the beach, and a man has just passed him with his knob out.
Yeah, his testicles out and his huge bag, apparently.
Right.
Now, we'll sum this up, you know, quick, because we did talk about it last week. You know, you did call me and tell me some of these things, and we sort of, mentioned it last week, but, you just want to say just give us your thoughts on nudity.
Well, what I don't understand is, right, nudity, I thought it was all about, you know, sort of being free.
Yeah.
Natural, letting the breeze, you know, blow around you and that. That's all I can think is of like the bonus of doing it. But you can get that by just having a pair of shorts on, right? Because I'm not one for getting my kit off. It's just something a bit weird about it, isn't it? Normally, if I go for a walk on the beach, I'll put a shirt on.
Sure.
But leave it unbuttoned.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, tease the ladies, sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it just feels a bit weird. So it's best to cover your back anyway, because the sun...
Yeah.
And all
good
that.
advice, yeah.
But when I saw him, and I thought, well, right, is he doing it to sort of be free and be comfy and all that? And then I thought, but he's carrying a big bag, right? I've got a pair of shorts on, and I'm not looking at him thinking, I bet he's really comfy. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't going, I can't wait to get home and get my shorts off. They're really annoying me, these. So... And that's just it. I don't get what it's all about.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Sure. Well, okay. Well, my advice to you is don't go to nudist beaches again.
Well, I didn't go again.
Do you play volleyball?
Nope.
Well, there's nothing in it for you, to be honest, Karl.
Do you ever walk around the house nude?
Not really. Only if, like, it's quickly to sort of jump out of bed and go and get a glass of orange. But I've got to be careful, because living on a high street, there's flats right across the way looking in.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's all
Chinese fella.
There's a little
exactly.
And that was the other one. Is he the one?
There's the old woman reading a book.
Yeah, it could be dead for all we know. It hasn't moved.
There's some bouncers, and
some bouncers?
I think so, yeah.
Is that a euphemism?
They're always... There's always,
Her name's Carol.
But, yeah, the only time, if I nip out, sort of get out of bed at night, go and get an orange, I've still got to be careful, because if they're awake and I open the fridge door...
Oh,
and the
you're
light
illuminated,
comes up,
yeah.
They'll sort of see the light.
And the shadow.
Turn round.
And the weird, long, stretchy shadow.
Yeah.
Why did you get up and got orange juice or orange swash?
You know, Robinson's.
You can't advertise on...
Why don't you take a glass of that to bed with? Why are you getting up?
Yeah.
Because whenever I do that, I normally don't wake up, and it's a waste, isn't it?
The man is a genius. And look, well, continuing our rocking out thing.
Yeah, we're in a rock mood.
Well, I think this sums up rock and roll, doesn't it?
It's not called rock and roll, is it? Textbook.
Coldplay, The Scientist. Do you think that's about you, Karl? What happened there with all that rubbish, pressing the wrong thing going out and that?
Don't want to go... I've sorted it now. Doesn't matter.
Right.
You've come back, you're not focused, Karl. That's what concerns me. Your mind's on other things.
I'm alright now, though.
You
I'm
all
ready to go, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is... Oh... I just...
I'll tell you what, right, I'll tell you how focused I am.
What?
Got some new ideas for you.
Go on.
Well, they've all been blinders in the past.
Go on.
Did you do any competitions when I was away?
Did we? I think we did, didn't we? Didn't we give away a DVD?
Did we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, go on. Yeah,
right.
go on. Anyway.
Well, I've thought some,
This isn't like radio, is it, as we know it? This is just people talking. If the mic's on, it's luck.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening, I've no idea what they think of this show. It's not a show.
Not in the traditional sense.
No. Okay, then you're going to change with that, Karl.
Because a show suggests a certain form of presentation.
Yeah.
A certain pride.
And when we do present
and dare I say it, some planning.
Yeah, and when we do, it's ruined by him pressing the wrong button.
Yeah, but I've got some planning here.
Go on then.
Quizzes. What I did was, when I was on holiday...
Yeah.
Right, you said, you know, come up with a new idea, right? So the best way of coming up with ideas is sort of,
thinking.
sort of nicking a TV show name and then twisting it a bit.
Yeah.
So...
Or just rip off Simon Mayo's idea completely.
That's good advice for anyone out there.
I didn't...
Yeah.
If you're interested in ideas.
Karl is presently, running a course writing for TV.
Yeah.
And that's the lesson one, isn't it? Just rip something else off.
Just do an idea and change the title slightly.
Yeah,
Well,
go on.
this one I haven't really got I don't know what to do on the game, but I'm thinking, Strike It Ricky.
That's all you've got? That's what you've come up with. How long did that take?
Through.
What is that?
I just thought it sounded a bit like Lucky. Forget that one then.
Yeah, forget that one. Okay, yeah, well, no, good. No, we all have hits and misses. Even Spielberg's, not all his films, you know, can hit the. Go on.
Right.
No, okay, no, it's a good. Go on. Yeah.
Do you remember Big Brother?
Yeah. Do I remember Big Brother? No, go on.
Big Mother, right? You call in. If your mum's ever, you win a CD.
What do you mean? How can you prove that?
Alright, forget that. Right, ER, here's one.
Right, ER. Good one.
No.
Yeah, no.
The Price is Right, remember that?
Yeah.
Right.
The Price is Ricky?
No. The Rice is Right. And what I do, I read from an Indian menu and a Chinese menu. You tell me whether you have pilau or egg fried.
He's a genius, isn't he? He really is a modern.
That one.
Let's go on then. Let's go into this one. Let's not cross this off right away. Go on then. What do you read from what?
Well, I get a couple of menus from like an Indian and a Chinese takeaway.
Yeah.
And I'll go like, chicken korma.
Well, could I just suggest that as it's an Indian, it'll be pilau, and anything you read out that is.
Yeah, but you don't know which one I'm reading from.
What, the chicken korma's Indian, isn't it?
Yeah, so you go pilau. But then
Well, you might as well say Indian or Chinese.
No, because then the name wouldn't work. The Rice is Right.
Okay, yeah, I forgot you're working for the title backwards, aren't you? Okay, yeah. Okay.
I'm so confused. I don't know where I am or what day it is.
A programme that they've been in on Channel 4, right?
Can you cross that out? We're not doing The Rice is Right either.
I don't understand The Rice is Right.
No, go on.
I'll tell you that later. We'll have a game in the office, right? A game that they've been in on Channel 4, but has got really big viewing figures.
Well, obviously not.
Right.
Or they wouldn't be bidding it. Go on.
Do you know 15 to 1?
Yeah.
They're getting rid of that, right?
Are they?
I'm thinking 15 Taiwan. Get some items that are made in Taiwan, right? Get 15 items, and I say what they are, and then you go, oh, I bet it's the vase. Or something.
That's one that's made in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Just explain that again very quickly.
No, don't go.
Alright,
Cross it out.
Forget that.
Cross it out. 15 Taiwan.
Right.
Go on.
This is the one that I've prepared for, because I think this isn't daft, this is good.
Let's play a tune and let's hear it after that.
Oh, God.
I'm very
sure?
excited.
Are we going to play it after that, or are we going to say
No,
it
you can explain it after it. I'm very excited.
Could do that again, it's
Oh, fantastic.
Waiting on a Friend by the Rolling Stones. Yeah? Go on then, Carl. On XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Go on.
Right, this one. Remember Blockbusters?
Uh-huh.
Right, this one is good, and we'll do this one. Rockbusters. And remember how Bob Holness used to give you a letter?
Yeah.
And, it'd give you a question, and the answer to that question is that letter.
Yes.
Right, well, it works like that. So if I said to you, we'll test it out on you, Steve, right? Right, welcome to the show and that.
Hello.
Let's play, right? And I say, right, your first one is W.
Mm-hmm.
And the cryptic clue, because it's done like crosswords.
Okay. So not quite like Blockbusters.
Well, this young man prepared for his death. Right. And it's a W, so the answer... And it's not always going to be like our sort of music, it can be any sort of music that's out there.
So the W is the name of...
Of the answer.
I understand that, but is the answer always the band name, or is it...
Yeah.
It's always the band name, is it, or the artist?
Yeah.
And so would the W be the surname, or would you have both the initials if it was someone's name? Would Elvis Presley be EP?
Don't get annoyed, Carl. These are questions that I knew would be asked. I know this. You tested it on me, so you've got to tell them.
We
This
need
is
to
the
know
point.
the rules.
If it was Elvis, I'd probably do E.
No. Give him the answer. Give him the
Right,
answer.
did you hear the clue?
No, give me the clue again then. So the letter is
It
W.
is a cryptic clue, and
It's
the clue's
W.
fine.
Listen,
but,
and the
go on.
clue is, this young man prepared for his death.
This young man prepared for his death.
Yeah.
This young man prepared for his death.
And it's a W. And it's his first name.
That's what you need
Well,
to
see,
know.
that's the, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't...
Well, shouldn't we have the initials? Wouldn't that make it easier? I mean,
Yeah,
wouldn't...
but they didn't do that on Blockbusters, it just had one
Yeah,
letter.
they did.
they
They
did.
did if it was, if...
The gold run they often had us for 3 or 4
Did they?
letters, yeah.
Well, it was normally just one word. It wouldn't have been a name or something.
Alright then.
W...
Y. W-Y.
Will Young.
Excellent. Right,
I didn't
so
understand it. What was
this
the clue?
young
Will
man,
prepared for this young man. So he's sort of mixed, sort of cryptic.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, that's a good effort. That's better than usual.
No,
that is better than usual.
It's not bad, is it?
So do you want to play? Let's play Rockbusters.
Yeah, Rockbusters.
How many of these have you got? No, because let's just clarify a couple of rules here, Carl. Let's just make sure we thought everything through, because I'm pretty certain when they get these things on TV, they at least have a go at them in the office first, before they put them straight on there. I'm sure that's how it works. I'm sure Bob Honest just didn't turn up the first day, and he goes, "Look, we'll wing it, it'll be fine. Bring the students in, let's have a go." I'm sure they did a little bit of preparation. So let's just check, we've got everything, every base covered.
Yeah,
Firstly, how many questions have they got to get right?
I'll tell you what, let's do this off air then. Should we play a great tune?
Well, yeah. Well, people need to call in, don't they? Because we're doing it, aren't we?
Yeah.
It'll be alright. And there's good stuff. I've got CDs, right? I've got, some compilation stuff and a couple of videos and that, so that's what they're playing for. Call up now, 08700 800 1234. Get them on the air, we'll play the game. Brilliant. Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
Bit of The Cure. Right. Oh.
That's from that Cure Greatest Hits
I'm gonna
compilation.
have a heart attack.
You get an extra bonus CD on certain copies, and that's an acoustic version of Just Like Heaven. Fantastic.
He hasn't thought it through.
I know. We've just spent 3.5 minutes trying to figure out the rules.
Yeah,
of this game.
right. We've got it now. I'm sorry for people to call in. The lines are going mental. Right. So hold on, everybody. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do an ad break.
We're just gonna figure out how to play the game.
No, we're gonna get two people on there, and we're gonna play it. So XFM and that. What's going on?
I don't know. The adverts aren't working today, and I'll have to get an engineer in as well.
Right,
so
don't play the adverts. I don't want to play them anyway. Don't play them. It's not our fault if it doesn't work.
Why?
Do you realise if we were, like, live, we'd be heckled off the stage?
Right, don't play the adverts.
We wouldn't survive in the real world.
I'll sort that out.
Right, get the people on the air now. Just
Rick, calm down.
Play a record then! Do something, for Christ's sake! Brilliant, Pulp. Good news and bad news. Bad news is we have got enough callers to play Carl's game. The good news is we don't have to play any more adverts in this show. So, if it doesn't work, sod it. Right, who have you got on the line, Carl?
Sam.
Now, let's just remind ourselves, what's the game?
It's Rockbusters.
Okay, now calm down, Carl. I know you're a bit stressed, you've got a lot to do, but don't worry, you've just had a holiday.
Throw this desk out. Let's throw it out and start again.
Rick, don't get stressed.
Go on then.
People wouldn't think it was us if this show wasn't, you know, half-baked and ill-formed and generally shoddy. That's what they've grown to love.
Okay, alright.
Sam?
Hello?
Is it sounding alright today?
It is, just about.
Right, cheers.
Sounded worse.
Right then.
Good.
Well,
And, so we've got Sam on the line. Who else have we got there?
So we've got Tim as well, haven't we?
Hi there.
Alright, Tim.
Tim and Sam.
Nice.
You sound quite similar, lads. Could one of you affect an accent or something? Which one's Tim?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay, which one's Sam?
It's Sam.
That's slightly deeper,
yeah. And they're not against the clock anyway, are they? So it doesn't really matter.
I suppose not.
So
I think Steve just wanted a bit of variety.
You
okay.
You understand the rule, lads?
Could you explain them to us?
Right, play it. Okay.
Hang on, wait.
Well, let me explain, because I mean, life is too short. Now, Carl's gonna read out, say 3 clues, yeah? And, just shout your own name and answer it, or shout the answer. Shout your own name, then the answer if you know it, and it's the person who gets the most right.
Okay.
Is that alright?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
here we go then.
okay then.
Shouldn't it be the first to 3?
Well, yeah, but then he hasn't got...
Yeah, I've got enough, it's fine.
He's got enough clues for that.
Right then, here we go. Welcome to the show.
Oh, God.
Right, first initials, S-T, right? Is that right?
Well, I don't know. We don't know, do we? How do we know?
Here we go, S-T, and the cryptic clue is better than the average homeless person. Okay?
Sorry, I think... Is that a band?
Yeah.
Is it an old band?
Yeah.
I think that's one word.
Alright then, S. S, it's an old 70s band. Better than the average homeless person. Tim?
Go on.
Supertramp.
Supertramp it is.
Yeah.
Well done, 1 point to
I have
you,
no idea
Tim.
why that's right, by the way.
You don't understand why it's right?
He's a super tramp.
Oh, right.
Better than the average homeless person.
Cryptic, yeah.
Yeah, cryptic.
Yeah.
Okay, second one. Come on, Sam, you've got a...
That's actually quite good for Carl. Trust me, Tim. I mean, take that as a good clue. Because, yeah, okay.
We won't do this again.
Right, 1-0 to
Right, here we go.
Right.
F. The letter is F. That's the next one we're moving on to. And the cryptic clue is, the little girl is hungry. What shall we do?
The S or F?
I've got it.
F.
Freddy. Sam. Peter.
Yes, 1-1. Feed her.
He's pulled out of
Feed her.
Yeah. Feed her. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's one each. So this is the decider, isn't it?
Wait a minute, ITV are on the phone.
Well, you said first to 3, so no, it's not, is it? That's what I said. Just do the 3 clues and who gets the most.
Okay, well, we can do that now. So, here we go.
I love this. This is rubbish. Go on.
So, here's the last one. The initials are AK, right? And the cryptic clue is exploding pet. Shout out your name if you know it.
Last orders at the bar, please. Last orders at the bar.
Exploding pet. AK.
You're tuned to XFM 104.9, Karl Pilkington's quiz, Rockbusters. The format is still available. The highest bidder, please give us a call, or you can email ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Is it a band or a singer?
I'll give you a bit more of a clue. It's a pop band. Okay, we wouldn't.
No, Tommy Kitten.
Yes.
Hey.
Oh, this is amazing radio. Oh. So who was that won?
That was Sam who won.
So it's 2-1 to Sam. So he wins. What does he win, Karl?
He wins some CDs and some videos.
No, he's got and obviously now, Sam, if you're ready, take the spot. You're going to do the gold run. Away you go, Karl.
I haven't got any more.
You're a fool. Right, stay on the line. We'll give them both some presents. Play a record for.
Rick, I'm going to shoot off.
Not come. Feeder. Come back around. He's getting all stressed again.
You know, we've only done an hour.
I know. I'll tell you what. This seems
there's
like
another
3.
hour to go.
I know. I don't know what it seems like to the, the listeners.
I'll tell you this. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, Karl, but I think maybe someone else should come in and press the buttons. Because I'm not sure you're across it. I don't think you can concentrate on talking and working at the same time. I'm not sure you can.
Walking.
Yeah. For you, it seems it's a bit
no,
like.
Don't say that. Look, he's gutted. No, there's a lot of gone wrong here. I say, throw this desk out and get a real one. Seriously.
Well, I think there's a Fisher Price one you can buy in Argos that might be.
Yeah,
worth
but
getting.
we got there. But we were stunned because it was second hand. This one, but this is like the Mir space station. I mean, it really is falling apart. Get a new one in. Let's not, Oh. I can't believe it. Look at that. Look at the library. Look at the gaps in the library.
Let's not go on about this because this isn't good.
What? Whereas that quiz was. Whereas that was good radio.
You can join in and stuff.
But the problem is, Karl, why do you rush to do it? I told you before we should practice these things. That's
Although to be fair, Steve, I haven't got time to do anything. So at least Karl's coming up with stuff.
But I don't mind, running through with it while you're having a kip outside.
Really? What other ideas have you got? Have you got any other ideas, Karl? Because you've got another hour to put. Have you got anything at all?
I've got that feature Educating Ricky, which is a bit of a play on words as well. Right? Do you know the film, Steve?
Educating Rita?
Yeah.
I'll see what you've done. Go on.
I'm doing that, and I teach Ricky stuff.
What do you teach me, Karl?
Well, I've got a few different topics.
Go on.
Do you know, like how you taught me about Hitler and Che Guevara and Winston Churchill? Mm-hmm. I'm going to come in with topics every week, and this week I've got,
ghosts?
No, hanging bacon is one of the topics.
Say that again?
Hanging bacon.
Hanging bacon?
All the titles.
Francis Bacon?
No, all the titles are sort of named to sort of tease you and get you more interested in it.
Hanging bacon? Well, you've certainly intrigued me.
Go on, what's another title one?
Hairy Chinese Kid.
I'm gonna go for that one.
If there was a university degree with that title...
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go for Hairy Chinese Kid,
and
I think.
The final one, Alien Gives Man a Beard.
Right,
Alien Gives Man a Beard.
I am gonna burst. Right, listen, Karl, you've got to tell me. Right, let's do it in reverse.
No, we're not gonna do it now anyway.
What do you mean? We've got to do it now. This is the first interesting thing you've said in an hour. Okay, the listeners have just been subjected to rubbish and mistakes and everything for the last 6 months. Please, we've got to do Alien Gives Man a Beard. What is that? Tell us that.
Right.
Sorry, this is just you telling me something, is it? This feature is you telling me something.
Well, teaching you something. Educating Ricky.
Huh? So are we playing it now? We're already into this feature. Well into this feature, are we?
Yeah, I suppose we are, yeah.
Should there not be a jingle or something?
Yeah, can we have a jingle?
There's no point, because look, I come up with ideas and you dismiss them straight away, so I'm not wasting my time making stuff.
Right.
If you don't like
well, okay, let's play Educating Ricky.
Right.
Brilliant. Go. Right.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Educating Ricky.
Right, what we going for then? Hanging the bacon, airy Chinese kid, alien gives man a beard.
I think alien gives man a beard.
I'd like to do that.
Right, there's this fella, I think it happened in America, and he saw a bright light in the sky. And,
Carl, if you're bored.
and he stood there.
This is a true story, is it?
Yeah. He stood there,
Yes, of course it isn't, Steve.
and he saw this bright light, and it came closer and closer, and it was a UFO, right?
Yep.
And he looked at it, and it disappeared, right? And he gets back in his car,
He looks in the mirror.
and he looks in the mirror.
Yep.
He's only got a beard.
He has.
You sure it wasn't someone else who got in the car? And he was still standing out there?
No, right?
What?
And it turned out,
Yeah.
he got home and said to his wife or his girlfriend, it's a bit weird. So I just got out of the car to look at a bright light, and I got back in the car and grew a beard, and she said, never mind your beard, where have you been for 3 days? And what had happened is...
He passed out because he was pissed.
No. The UFO had taken him for 3 days.
Yeah.
But he'd only thought that he'd only looked at it and it went away.
Yeah.
But what had happened is, he
yeah.
took him, and he grew a beard because he hasn't had a shave.
Right, okay. I mean, was Will Smith or Tommy Lee Jones anything to do with this at all? Did you see this on a video, maybe, and thought it was an educational film?
No, it's from a book that some kind person sent in to me. Here.
Can I just ask again, just again, I'm just throwing this right back at you. Do you think there's any other possible answer here? Right, a man is absent for 3 days from home.
He's
the
grown a
length
beard.
of time that it could take to grow a beard, lest we forget. What if he hadn't actually seen a bright light in the sky?
What if he
he'd
was
been
lying? What if
drunk?
he was lying?
He'd got knocked unconscious, he'd had a car crash.
Just
any number
lying.
of other
No,
things.
just lying.
Or he was just lying.
Yeah, he'd been on a bender, getting pissed for 3
Yeah,
days
and that
with
was
his
his
mates.
excuse to his wife.
And they went, Dennis, what are you gonna tell your wife?
Well, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
She's not going to believe I was out with you, lads.
Just say you're only away for a minute. No, she didn't know I wasn't away from it because of the beard. Oh yeah, look, it looks like you've been out for 3 days. Well, we have. That's
Exactly.
right. Okay, we've got to cover that then. Alien abduction.
Great one.
Okay, let's try that.
Do you see? That's a little scenario there that could have been played out.
So, when you say educating Ricky, what have I learnt from this? Never listen to you again. That's all I've learnt so far. Never listen to you.
Yeah, we'll add a little bit more in here, right? To
Well,
spice this
no,
up.
what do you mean add a little bit more?
We'll add a bit more to this what I'm educating you about,
Go on.
right? There's only a law in America that says if you touch a UFO, you're gonna get done. Now, why would they make a rule? I don't know that. Do you know, like, all their rules have a code?
Carl, I genuinely do not know what you're talking about.
Right. Do you know, like, how here they might have...
Do you know
I
what?
have no idea.
Right,
Okay.
Do you know, like, over
Rick,
here...
I'm listening to Capital on these headphones. I got Foxy on from yesterday.
Right, let's bin that.
No, wait, it's great. No,
I want to hear about Airy Chinese Kid.
let's play a tune. And
Okay,
let's come
play a
back
tune,
with
come back with
Airy
a Chinese
Play
Kid,
back
definitely.
Some doors.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just thought I'd go back, take it back to the 60s. This is a tune that a friend of mine sent
If
me.
you touch a UFO, you get done.
Soul Kitchen from the Doors.
Shambles today, this.
David Bowie, Slow Burn, yeah. Quite a Eno trilogy
Yeah,
feel
not bad
about
at
it.
all, yeah.
Lodger
Is it
and
a
sort
new
of
tune?
low type, yeah. But, yeah.
Enjoyable.
Now, okay. That's stressful, isn't it? I think we've got things working now. We've had people coming in and out, just shaking their head going, shouldn't have bought that desk. But it's all sorted now, I think. And,
You notice how it took
sorry.
about
What?
25 minutes for them to come down as well, though? Do you feel like we're maybe quite low in the pecking order in the building?
Definitely.
You know, it's like Capital First, Capital Gold. They can shoot off to other sort of pirate stations.
Yeah.
People's car radios, then they come back here.
Oh, dear. Oh, I had a job at Richard Sounds.
Yeah.
Light fitting was buzzing. Now, but we've got, thanks for staying, listening. Right, okay, educating Ricky. What have we got? Airy Chinese Kid, go on.
Right, yeah. This is the, I didn't want to do this.
What do you mean you didn't wanna do it?
Well, I wanted to give you three, and I gave you one. It was like the alien man gets a beard or whatever.
Yeah,
And-
which was total rubbish, so this one should be better, maybe.
Hairy Chinese kid. Right, well, we've talked about airy people in the past,
True enough.
haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, the little kids who grew up in woods and hung around with wolves and that.
Yeah, again, you're confusing it. Yeah, they're not, there were some people that were born very hirsute. They were not the people who were brought up with wolves. You just put that together in your Homer Simpson type mind.
Right, well, this is like a sort of sort of close to that sort of story.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, right, Chinese people aren't that hairy. As a nation. No, seriously. That's a well-known fact. They don't have that much body hair and stuff.
Okay.
So, this little kid who was born over there, he was, like, covered in stuff.
Was he?
And it was only his nose that wasn't hairy. The rest of his body was caked in hair, right? And his hair sort of
What
grew.
sort of hair was it? Was
thick hair.
No, what I mean is, was it sort of, like a pony's mane, so he just looked like an Ewok? You know what I mean? Just like hanging down sort of straight, dark hair.
In the picture, it looked like, it grows from his eyebrow. It grows from his eyebrows quite thick. And then it just goes all the way over his head.
You don't think it was just really long eyebrows that he'd done a comb over?
No, it was all over his body. It had a picture of, like, his back and that.
Yeah.
And,
had he styled it? Had he styled it at all? Did he have it in a quiff, or?
No, it was just
hanging everywhere.
all over him.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know, this is a bit weird. Happening in China, where we're not normally that hairy.
That was the scientist speaking there.
Yeah.
And the local press and that were getting him down, calling him monkey boy and all this.
Oh.
And,
thinking Chinese press.
But the doctor...
Yeah. Oh.
They're cruel, aren't they? It's like those game shows.
Well,
That's Japanese, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's cool, though. Yeah.
And the doctor said,
Was Carl talking through all that time while we were just like talking to each other then? Because I turned round and I still saw he was talking. Go on.
So anyway, the local press came in to see the hairy boy, the monkey boy.
and they were like being tight, taking the mickey out of him, and the doctor said,
throwing him nuts.
said he's only hairy. Said, he's a healthy young kid. The only faults he's got is he's got a little bit of eczema and a boil. And he said everybody should just treat him the same, and I think he grew up a healthy kid. Yeah, so that's the
end of the story.
That's not a story.
Why?
But I've got nothing. I don't know what to say to that. So someone in China was born slightly hairier than the rest, and he was normal apart from eczema and a boil. That to me isn't a story. But if it is, I've got a million. I mean, it's sort of like bloke from Manchester went a bit bolder than the rest, got a job on radio. He was normal. I mean, that's not a story, is it? Do you know what I mean?
All right then.
Hang on.
Hold on, he's got the big guns. You're not going to give us hanging bacon, are you?
Yeah.
Come on then.
Right.
Come on. Come on.
This is it.
No, this is a good one.
This is the one.
And this is a story, right? Do you know the saying, chewing the fat?
Good one. It's one of my favourites.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know what it means?
Talking.
Right. Well, do you know where it came from?
No.
Right, what they used to do years ago, when people didn't have much money...
Is this the same as throwing the baby out of the bathwater?
No, it's not it's not the same saying, but it's...
No, but I mean, is it as wrong as that was?
Well, let me tell you, and we'll
Go
see.
on. Okay.
Like, people go out to work, and with the money, they'd buy food.
Oh, yeah, go on. This is a good system. Go on. What do you mean? People go out to work and with the system...
And if you were quite well off, you might treat your family to some bacon, right? But do you know, like, in these days, if people earn a lot of money, they might buy a nice suit. Or a car.
Yeah. So, what are you saying? You're saying... Wait, let me get this straight. You're saying that you go out to work and get money to buy things to live, and if you get sort of enough money to live and you've got some left over, you might treat yourself on, like, a suit or a car or something? Is that what you're...
Yeah.
Oh,
but back then, if you earned money, they'd say...
This is olden times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get some bacon in, right? And what they'd do, they'd hang it in the kitchen.
What, to show it off?
To show it off to all the neighbours and friends. Because if you had hanging bacon, it was like, he's doing alright for himself.
Yeah.
Some lovely bacon.
So they had loads of bacon hanging up, and people would come round, right? And whilst they stood in the kitchen talking about whatever they're talking about...
In olden times.
They'd say, do you want a bit of rind? And they'd rip a little bit of rind off, and whilst they're having a chit-chat...
Chewing the
they'd
fat.
chew on the rind.
Well, I think that's probably true.
And
I haven't heard that, but that one to me sounds true. Do you see the difference between that one and a man was abducted and grew a beard? Can you see the difference in why I accept that story?
Different stories for different things.
Different stories for different things. So, see, that's a nice story. If it's true, I don't know if it's true. I mean, but it seems totally possible, viable, quite interesting. I won't be quoting that myself until I've verified it. But that's, you know, I won't be telling anyone the bloke got in the car and he had a full-faced beard. Why has his car been towed away?
Because it was a quiet road.
Was it?
Wasn't in the way. So.
Are you filling in the blanks again? That wasn't in the book, was it, that you read? See, this is the thing. Sometimes I think you make up bits of the story as though they were fact. That doesn't seem right.
Well, that's all you can do, innit? So that's educating Ricky. Will we?
Brilliant.
Do that next week.
That is brilliant.
No, I think that was good. I did. I mean, I enjoyed that. I learned something from that.
I mean, I want to get. I mean, this is all from one book, is it?
Yeah.
That's an interesting book.
With the, I don't want to dwell on it, but with the hairy Chinese kid, what did they say about that? What was the, I mean, was it once there was born a kid who was slightly more hairy than everyone else, but it's all right. He only had a boil. How did they word it? How did this capture your imagination?
There was
it was a picture that grabbed me first of all.
Yeah. Sure.
And it was like, God, what's up with him? And that's when I read it.
Did you see the boil and the eczema, or just the hair?
No, you see, because his face is like, just under his eyes is sort of nice and smooth, and his nose is sticking out, and that's not hairy. But the rest of him, it looked like he had the sort of a balaclava on or something. And then I read on, and it's like, this was a hairy kid in China.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, good. Anything else in there? Because, I mean, I like that.
We'll do more of that next week.
How is that alongside, hanging bacon, alien abduction, a hairy Chinese kid, and, a little interesting fact about the derivation of a phrase?
What do you mean?
He didn't understand a word of that. I knew the word derivation was going to cause problems. I thought derivation shouldn't have come out.
No, I wasn't disputing. He's all smug because he's had a phone call. That was, Beck, lost cause. Go on, tell him why you're all smug.
Because Adrian just called up.
Yeah.
After hearing the story about the Chinese kid.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, that's true. He said that there was a TV programme on it.
Yeah.
He had a chromosome defect.
Yeah.
And it made him hairy. And his mum and dad used to have to shave him. That wasn't in the book. But, thinking about it, that's not a good move anyway, is it? Because they say that for women, if you get a few hairs on your top lip, don't shave it because it'll grow back thicker and faster. So...
Right.
They should just, let him be
They should have just said, well, let's see how bad it gets. But if they went in there straight away if he came out as a baby and a little bit hairy, they should have left it, maybe, for a little bit. But Adrian called up and said, yeah, he was hairy, he was all
but
right.
we weren't disputing there was a Chinese kid born slightly hairier than the rest.
We were disputing the fact that you didn't actually tell us a story. You just told us a
And
sort
what we are
of
disputing is that man was abducted by aliens for 3 days and grew a beard.
Yeah.
That's definitely not true.
No.
We don't know about chewing the fat, but it sounds quite viable.
Yeah.
You see, the difference is between me and Steve and you is that what we believe isn't random. Do you know what I mean? It's not random. The things that...
We don't believe stuff just because it's interesting.
It's not every other thing we believe and every other thing we don't.
Well, I think Carl believes stuff if it's interesting.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
If he thinks, oh, intriguing. Fact.
He said to me on the, before you got a minute, he said, that Ollie's record, he ain't ever used my brother, what's that about then? And I went, I don't know, I heard, it was about someone who had a disabled brother, and, he was lifting him in and out of a car or something, and someone said, oh, do you want a hand? And he went, no, it's not heavy, he's my brother. I.e., this isn't a burden for me.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Carl, what did you say?
I'd say...
No, I'll tell you what he said. He went, well, that's ridiculous, he was still heavy. And he said, don't turn down help.
Which, we were talking about that, because a new feature we're starting about this time every week.
Oh, yeah.
We start about this time every week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do, that song's got a good story.
Okay.
Yeah, love it, snappy. Go on, go on.
There's loads of songs out there, isn't there, with songs that you couldn't fade out. When you hear them on the radio and that, you don't want anyone to talk over the start or the end.
Yeah.
Because
but remember we did this one before with, Killing a Georgie by, Rod Stewart?
Yep.
And I was a bit worried that it might have been a true story, because we were, you know, joking about it. And, he went, oh, you know that Killing a Georgie? He went, I think it is a true story. I went, why? He went, I listened to it again, and Rod Stewart at the beginning says, this is one of my best friends. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's genius.
So there's loads of songs out there, and what I want to do, we want to get the audience involved in this, so if you've got, like, a favourite song that's got a really good
If you've got an
story,
audience.
well,
yeah, go on.
And they email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, and they say what the song is now.
What would examples be then?
Examples, ones that jump to mind straight away for me, Elvis, in the Ghetto.
Yeah, good one.
Brilliant.
Andrew Gold, Lonely Boy.
Absolutely.
Don't know that one.
Eminem, Stan.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Good one. You couldn't fade it out, could you? Because you go, well, what happened?
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely.
And that's what I'm saying. Not just any sort of pop song that keeps repeating itself. And, you know, it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it skips or, you know what I mean, if you turn the radio off.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about
Ernie,
songs.
the fastest milkman in the West.
Yeah, that is a good story. That is a good story. Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know that one?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a story, yeah.
Ted from Teddington, he drove the baker's van.
Well,
So what have we got then? Have we got one?
so we're going to kick it off today with Stevie Wonder, Living Just Enough for the City.
Okay.
And just briefly.
Sum it up. Right,
Yeah.
if you haven't, if you are nipping out, maybe you're in the car and you're about to pull up somewhere and get out. What it's all about is a lad who's growing up in like America in some rough area, right? And he's trying his best to do well and get a job and everything, but because of where he's from, it's stopping him doing that, right? It's like how I grew up on an estate in Manchester. I had to leave there and come to London to do all right for myself, right? And it's his whole family, and it's a tale of like how his mum works dead hard and works loads of hours, but the kids are always well dressed and cleaned. It doesn't mean just because you haven't got a good job, you let your house run down. Do you know what I mean? She's looking after it. The sister, you know, she hasn't got new clothes, but they're always clean, and her knees are clean, I think it says in one point.
Good. Excellent. Clean knees, always important.
So will we give it a listen? Let
Brilliant, it's a
Well, I
great
don't
track.
think Stevie can do it justice. After that explanation.
Right, so
I'm not sure he's
I
going
hope
to
he
top
uses
that.
like some sort of like backing tune to try and
Try and pep it up a bit, because
Yeah.
you have really knocked it the socks off
so-
it.
brilliant. I'm looking forward to the
right,
clean
here we go
knees.
then. It's a new feature.
What is it called again?
The story in that song's really good. Here's Stevie Wonder.
Go on then, Carl. Back announce that. It's your choice, that.
Right, songs with good stories that you can't fade out.
Yeah. Although you can heavily edit them for
Yeah, I
them.
noticed you didn't play the full version, which
No,
has
it's
obviously
radio,
got the complete story in. You've just played a
I haven't heard the other. That's
single
all I
version.
know.
Well, in the album version, he
gets
goes to jail.
abducted. He gets abducted as well, and he comes back with a big beard.
Yeah, and he's
No.
covered in hair. No,
No.
he gets arrested and goes to jail. But it's just, you know, it's just because he gets picked up because he's black and he hasn't done anything wrong. There's a whole other
never heard that
sort
one.
of section.
Maybe we should change this section.
No, what we'll do, right?
Abridged versions of songs.
Yeah.
No, next week we'll play the second bit, and it'll be like Star Wars or something like that. Brilliant.
Doves. Caught by the River on XFM 104.9. Well, it's been a good show, hasn't it? There's been sort of like quite a rock and roll 70s feel to it. Mainly the equipment. But we got through it. Carl's been telling us some great insights into his mind, really. We've had a few laughs, a few tears. Bit stressful. What were you telling me in the week about when you went to visit your dad in hospital?
Oh, we're talking about yeah, when I got back off holiday, my dad was in hospital. I shot back to see him, see how he's getting on, and hospitals are depressing places, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really, like, God, you know, you know, even if you're not that ill, it makes you feel worse.
Yeah.
Because it's really, like, drags you down, there's people walking around moaning, and, you know...
You, mainly.
Yeah. Nurses.
And, my dad was
political.
Yeah.
Is,
High five.
Satire.
Do you know what I mean?
I would like to be
They
the
don't get paid enough and all that, and they do,
Oh.
like...
No, well, that's...
Tony
what I mean.
Blair, are you listening?
I don't want to look like I'm moaning about the people working, because they all work really hard.
Yeah, of course they do, yeah.
But it's just
God bless
they are depressing places.
High five.
Nice one,
Go
nice
on.
one.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm sat there, my dad's getting fed up, and
Is that because you're visiting?
just he's quite an active bloke, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden he's got to
Like
stay in bed, and
yeah.
you know, it's like sit down, stop moving about, and all this. So he's sat there, and there's an old woman in the bed next door, right, and she's in a bad way anyway.
Yeah.
Right. She must have been, I'd say she looked about 98 or something like that.
Okay, good.
Right. Now, I don't know what was wrong with her, but she was always constantly moaning, and you could see that the nurses were trying their best to keep her happy, and she wasn't having any of it. And, you know, she was moaning because her hands had gone blue.
Well, that is a worry, to be honest.
Well, it's not, because she's 98.
Is that what happens?
But why doesn't the doctor, if I was a doctor, and I'm not one, But,
no, Carl, don't be modest. Are you a doctor? Yes or no?
But if I
think he's let it slip. Are you, Carl, are you a doctor?
No, listen.
Look me in the eye.
Right.
Yeah. So this woman had blue hands. Had she seen, a spacecraft?
Right. So,
go on.
she had blue hands. Now, she's 98. If I was a doctor, I'd be
she's not 98. You said earlier on she looked about 98. So you're making that up?
It's just shifted from speculation to fact.
Absolute fact now.
Yeah. Right, she's 98.
It is fact now.
There's a 100-year-old woman.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
If I was a doctor, I'd be thinking...
You're not, are you? You honestly...
How did I con them? How did I get away with this?
I'd be thinking...
Right.
She's 98. She hasn't got long left. Why not just let her be at home and be happy in her own space?
Yeah.
You know, and let her have a nice life, whatever's left.
Because she may hurt herself, so she may have falls. Some people have to go in there for their own protection. She might not have immediate
more
family.
Than that, she may not have been dragged in against her will.
No,
she may have come to hospital because she was worried about her blue hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I was talking to Ricky, he said, "Oh, what it would have been is probably a bit of." Did you say it's rheumatism or something?
No, I said I mean, a blueness can be through lack of circulation.
Right. So just.
And
so,
I'm definitely not a doctor.
You've got blue hands, bad circulation. We're going to send you home. We'll give you a Rubik's cube. Play around with that with your hands. Get the blood.
Rubik's cube.
Get the blood pumping.
Yeah.
And don't worry. I don't say, oh, it's really bad. Just think she's 98. Let her have a nice rest of the life.
Yeah.
But instead, she was there, and the annoying thing was, and they do this with a lot of people in hospital. They pump you with drugs, try to sort it out. They don't, you know. There's probably a bit of guesswork going on. Maybe a little bit.
Not as much as you, but go on.
Right, and because of that, they sort of break wind a lot. So I'm sat there with my dad talking. Drugs do that, Steve. I'm sure if there's a doctor listening or a nurse, they will clarify that if they pump you with all sorts of stuff, it wants to come out.
Right.
So you're sat there having a serious chat. It's a quiet hospital. The woman next door with the blue hands suddenly starts seeping gas, right? I start laughing. Because if there's one thing that makes you laugh, it's that,
It's a 98-year-old woman with blue hands farting.
So you try to hold it in because it's a really quiet hospital and it'd be obvious that that I was laughing at her, and I didn't want to be mean, but it was funny. And then it got me talking about my auntie, because my auntie Nora, she same thing, pumped her with loads of drugs. She used to have a cabinet next to the bed is like boots. She's got loads of stuff, right, for all sorts of stuff. And I mean, she's not that old, but she's on loads of stuff, right?
She's a bit coked up, is she?
She called up my mum once. And,
yeah, you told us this. Go on, tell it again.
And she said, "Oh, how are you doing?" And that. It's all right. Bit worried though. My mum said, "Wow, what's up?" She said, "I've been breaking wind." So she goes, "Well, you know." She says, "No, but this one is going on and on and on." And she was like, she was like, what do you say? What's like passing wind, farting for 5 minutes. one thing, not like, you know, trumping and then nothing.
Yeah.
Continuous
drone of a fart.
Yeah.
I don't think she had. How big was she? She must be the size of a barn.
No, she's not that big. She's, you know, she's good for her age.
No, but I mean,
quite slim.
No, but fine for 5 minutes. Where's all the gas? Was she circular breathing? Was she sucking it in with her mouth?
It was just, I don't know that much about it. But she called up my mum. About 2.5 minutes in.
Could you hear it in the background?
2.5 minutes in!
2.5 minutes in, she called my mum up, and it went on for a further 2.5 minutes.
Oh. And she just stayed on the phone, did she?
Where was...
Going, can you hear that?
Well...
yeah. Did she hold the phone next to her arse? Listen to that.
She was off the ground.
Trying to work a tune down.
she was actually hovering. She was 4 foot off the ground when they found her, the ambulance men.
The cat's dead.
Don't light a match! Don't light that cigarette!
Yeah, it's like that advert. The kids come home from school, switch on the light.
Yeah. There they see Granny hovering, turn the light on.
Be careful if you have an elderly woman at home.
Yeah. Drugs make you fart.
So that's what I'm saying, you know, just let these people...
What are you saying? No, wait a minute, what are you saying?
I'm saying let people enjoy the life they've got left.
No, you're not. You're saying don't put them in hospital, leave them at home to die.
No, I'm not.
Give them a Rubik's Cube and let them die. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll tell you something now, right? Steve, I'll tell you something. I didn't want to do it because it'd bring the show down. But she did die.
Who, the blue-handed lady?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because I said to my dad, how's the, woman next door. He said, oh, she went last night. They've got an old fella in there now.
God.
So, there you go. So, wouldn't it have been better to leave her at home, where her friends and family can call her and speak to her, even nip that round if they want, you know, with a cat, I imagine.
No, it's definitely a cat now. What was that cat's called, that you imagine?
Probably, I'm seeing like a big ginger one, so I don't know, something like, I don't know, maybe ginger, or whatever. Maybe I had a budgie. But that's what I'm saying, just let him enjoy his life, because dying in hospital, I wouldn't like to do it. If I went to the doctors and they said, you haven't got long life left, I'd say, well, I'll stay at home.
Yeah.
And that's the point I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Right? If you can't do anything for them, let them enjoy their life.
Yeah, a Rubik's Cube.
Right, well, good. Backfired. Now, let's play the second of the Rolling Stones track. I'm gonna try and do this every week. It's a feature called Too Lazy to Go and Get Another Album.
Yeah.
What about a classic, a bit of rock and roll? Yeah?
I'd love to hear
Brown Sugar. Do you know what this is about, Carl?
Drugs.
Maybe, I'll tell you later. Well, Stones, Brown Sugar. Steve thinks I can't tell you what this is about, because it's too rude for radio. But you've done it again, haven't you? You've said another call, haven't you?
Yeah, just that, drugs do make you have wind, morphine especially. That's the bad one to have.
And that was from a medical student, wasn't it?
Yeah. Up in Leeds, so cheers for that.
Haven't had any calls about the alien abduction, funnily enough.
No clarification on that so far.
No.
Keep you posted, though.
Yeah. If anything happens, we will let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's it. We got through it with all these mistakes. They've got to get this equipment fixed and they've got to go to HMV Monday and buy about, I'd say, £5,000 to £10,000 worth of new albums. Definitely.
It's gonna be good
Get
next
this
week.
fixed. No, get this fixed. Definitely.
Yeah. Don't go on about that. Next week, though, we'll have more educating
That's
Ricky.
the phone. Look, that's the phone.
Yeah, don't do that.
What?
Educating Ricky. We'll do the quiz. Rockbusters. Do that again.
Right, I
And
might not be
songs.
here. If that's the case.
And Steve,
What?
what have you got?
What, next week?
No.
I'm just
track.
gonna bring some sandwiches. Do you notice I was quite quiet for the last 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Just dozed off.
Yeah, well, the air conditioning's,
I'm feeling quite muggy.
it's too, that doesn't work either. And this is, totally serious, I'm not joking for the, it's ridiculous. So.
Right, a song for the ladies to end with as ever. Sly and the Family Stone. It's always a favourite. If you want me to stay.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Cheers.
Sweet.
And Envy on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Absolutely, yeah, hello.
That clang you heard there isn't Carl.
No.
Carl's away. It's Sturgis.
Claire Sturgis is here.
Yeah.
You'll know her from the Claire Sturgis show, but we know her from our early days on XFM,
Yeah.
and, you know, we're good friends.
It's sort of like old times, isn't it? And Carl is had a little surprise birthday present.
What's the story with this, Claire? Because I don't know
Well,
about this.
do you know, I came in on Monday expecting to see his little smiley face, as usual, and it's always not here.
Yeah.
What do you mean? So, apparently his girlfriend had surprised him and dragged him off to the Caribbean for a week.
Wow.
No, Canaries, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
he likes the Caribbean. He likes the crabs.
Yes. Yeah. I thought he was bored of the Caribbean. I thought he didn't enjoy it last time.
No, he loved it, didn't he?
No, I don't think he did enjoy
No,
the
it's
crabs.
Tunisia he didn't like.
Right. He's been travelling, hasn't he?
I know, yeah.
He gets
He
about.
didn't like Tunisia because there's flies the size of matchboxes.
Of course.
And, and, midgets in the kitchen. No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Midges or midgets?
Midgets, he said.
Right.
In
It
the
was
kitchen.
midgets.
He wasn't saying anything bad, he said that there were lots of midgets in there.
Lots of midgets in the
And
kitchen.
I thought it was, he'd gone away to some sort of, like, theme holiday.
Yeah.
But, no, this is, I think, Gran Canaria, or the Canaries, or whatever it's
And how
called.
old is Carl? Well,
30.
Is he 30? Is this
30
the big
last
3?
week, I think, yeah.
Oh, so it was actually a birthday present. Oh, I
Yeah.
see,
It's a big
right.
deal.
Yeah.
Okay, I just
So,
thought,
but that's alright.
So have you got a competition that you can regale us with, Claire? Because obviously Carl provides a lot on this show.
Hold on. We could do White Van Claire.
White Van Claire.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with this? We ask
No.
you questions, topical questions, just
Okay.
getting your opinion really on the week's news.
Okay, yeah.
It's on the
If you
spot.
look forward to that.
But you know I'm a little bit, you know.
A little bit simple. That's
well,
fine.
just a little bit, you know.
What?
I always sit on the fence. Don't
Oh,
I?
right.
Well, don't
You
sit on the
remember
fence.
You
for
see, the
last
worst
time?
thing there was she was saying I'm a little bit like, you know, liberal or undecided, and you went simple.
Yeah.
You
Well,
assumed.
I didn't know. I thought I'm a little bit, what, coked up? I don't know. Who knows? It's Sturgis. Anything could be possible.
But the other thing is with Karl, we didn't know how good value Karl was until we asked him sort of intelligent questions.
True enough. Yeah.
Because he looks quite intelligent.
Well, this is it. I mean,
so
the thing with you, Claire, is I don't think we've probed you enough. We don't know what your views are on a lot of things.
Enough,
but we don't know what your views are. This is what I'm saying. We don't know where you stand. I mean, don't sit on the fence. This is the new Claire Sturgis.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna delve deep, find a personality in there, Claire.
Let's go back to the old days. How about a bit of the Smiths?
That was beautiful, Rick.
Go on.
Oh, you've been practicing
Cemetery Gates.
Lovely.
Smiths. Cemetery Gates. It's a lovely tune, lovely song. There's one bit that worries me about it. It's sort of like a teacher warning. It goes, if you must contrive prose and poems, and the words you use should be your own. Don't plagiarise or take on loan. It's sort of like, what are you telling us that for?
Yeah.
Sort of like a lot of people there going, thanks, Morris. Yeah, that's not mine. That's Wordsworth. Right, I'm going to write my own.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Queen is Dead, though. One of the great album titles.
It's not my favourite album. It was voted best album.
But the Smiths, what I love about the Smiths, they just seem to get like the Smiths is just a brilliant name. Yeah. Don't you think it just captures everything about them? You know,
we've got a thing about bad.
Yeah. Well, I was watching VH1 Classic Smooth last night, and I love it. Absolute joy. Sade always on. You can always get a love a bit of Sade. But Foreigner were on.
Oh yeah. I've been waiting.
Yeah. And well, I don't know I can't remember which tune it was, but the album I noticed it came from, classy album title, Agent Provocateur.
Oh.
It makes my skin crawl. But I also, from the album Agent Provocateur.
I imagine there's a band called Agent Provocateur, and they're from Wigan. It's a girl singer. She's 35 in a tight dress, and it's 4 blokes with ponytails.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Doing covers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Here's what you may remember.
Then they play a wedding. They go, we're not doing a wedding again. There was people. There was cake being trodden in. There was kids.
Children were just sliding across the parquet floor. They weren't listening to the music.
Well, we've got a gig at the Marquee coming up soon.
Yeah.
It's endless guest list, £5 in.
Agent Provocateur. If your band's Agent Provocateur or Agent Provocateur,
have you ever been in a band called Agent? Yeah,
but that's got to be one of the, because it's not. I don't know what that title says. I don't imagine Foreigner. I've got that sense of intrigue and
one of the worst names. Right, okay. To Pal. Right, it's the worst. Let's start worst album titles. Okay, I'll kick off with To Pal. Bridge of Spies.
Oh, Bridge of Spies. Is that the one that featured China in Your Hand?
I assume so. I don't think I did too many.
Bridge of Spies?
Who did
Bridge
this
of
album?
Spies?
Who did this album? Beggar on a Beach of Gold.
Beggar on a Beach of Gold. It's got the likes of Collins written all over it, but I know it's not Collins.
Very close. Mechanics.
Mike and the Mechanics, of course.
I don't know what that means.
Good old Mike.
He's a beggar on the beach of gold. Just look around, there's some money. He's saying, don't be a tramp, there's some money there, mate. I don't know what it means.
I think it means that everyone else is rich, but he's still poor.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah.
Oh, it's a bit deep for me, Steve.
Maybe you just need a little asterisk at the corner and then a little explanation at the bottom of the record cover. I'm thinking about this, I'm not quite sure what it means. Oh! He's very poor emotionally.
Chumbawamba.
Well, you know, what can I...
Uneasy listening.
Yes! I bet it was, from the Chumbas. Are they still cracking on? Are they? Because they used to live in a squat.
They've done about, 400 albums, them and the Levellers.
Yeah.
Who's the best? Chumbawamba or the Levellers?
So, good question, thanks for asking that.
Yeah. What's the telephone number, Claire?
It's 08700 800 1234.
Or you can email ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Worst album titles ever.
It's like real radio,
It's just like Chris Moyles.
It is, isn't it?
Exactly.
Oh.
You've got the big fat guys on the telly. In here. You know. And his kind of cheeky sidekick.
Am I, Comedy Dave?
You're almost as funny as Moyles. Fingers crossed one day.
Right, Sturgis, you've brought in a record, haven't you? What are you going to play?
Well,
What's this all about?
Do you know what, like, a bootleg is, Ricky?
Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, I've snapped a lot of them up on white label.
Go on.
Okay. Well, no, this is quite a good one that Ian Baker bought in the other day.
Sure.
It's a bit of Dre, a bit of Snoop Dogg, mixed in with Crowded House. I thought you'd love it.
Hold on. The juxtaposition there is exciting in itself.
That's true enough, play it.
The weather episode, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Crowded House, I love that.
Enjoyable.
That works for me, Steve. What do you think?
No, it was nice.
Well, she started off alright. Should we give her one more go?
I think a round of applause for Claire.
Yeah, that's brilliant. No, that's excellent, that. I love that.
Rick, the phone... Oh, it's just gone. No, I tell you, the phone board had lit up there,
Really?
There was a call buzzing through on call.
A call came through?
A call came through on line 1, and Sturgis missed it. Karl would never have missed that. He knows how valuable they are.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was probably someone with an amusing album title.
No, I did get one, Steve. I did get one. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, this is from Al, who says, what about this? H to H-E, who am the only one.
Sorry, H...
To H-E.
H-E.
Who am the only one.
I don't know what it means.
No. Van de Graaff generator.
Oh, well, no wonder. That's the thing that you... One of those things at the museum that you wind up and you touch and it makes your hair stand on end.
Yeah.
That's the scientific thing, isn't it?
Sure.
I've given up, Steve.
Yeah, no,
Do you know, that didn't really make me laugh either.
I'll be honest, I'm thinking that the whole kind of amusing album titles thing we should abandon.
I thought that as I said it.
To be honest with you, I thought it was easier than this. I mean, Chris Moyles makes it work, that kind of crazy comedy,
let's try
radio magic, but obviously and I don't think our listeners are into that stuff. I just don't think they can be bothered to get to the phone. I don't think a lot of them are able. I think a lot of them are, you know,
do you remember
do
you remember when we spent about 3 hours trying to get to the Chris Moyles show?
Vaguely, yeah. What was the
He was doing this, competition, and it was song titles with golf, about golf. Like, so you go, like, Drive, the cars, and and I was getting so excited, I wanted to phone up and go, Duran, golfy, golf. And I just thought, it might have, oh god,
Yeah,
it probably cost me about 30 quid just to ruin Chris Moyles' competition.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, those were the
Before I
days when we realised, you know, he was a great talent and one to watch.
Yeah.
Before we'd enjoyed his new TV show.
But, anyway.
Yeah.
That's not...
No, that's cheap. It's cheap. It's cheap.
Yeah.
Anyway, what should we talk about now then? Because that all went well. No, I mean, that's 20 minutes. That's 20 minutes done.
Fantastic.
And we've nailed amusing album titles. We've done that. That's fine. So we need a new gimmick now.
I'll tell you what. You know,
You've got something. You've got something.
Wait. You know when you go out, you take an umbrella out.
You leave the house, you've got an umbrella.
You go to bed, right?
Yeah.
And it's a really sunny day.
Yeah.
And then you come out and you go,
I wish I hadn't bothered with that because it's in the way.
But then, right, imagine when you go out, right?
It's raining.
No. You go out without an umbrella.
Okay.
And then it rains.
Oh,
What's going on there?
Oh,
Isn't that weird, isn't it?
We've all been there.
So phone if you've got, like, funny, weird observations of things that happen, like that.
Yeah, stuff like that about umbrellas or any kind of sort of accessory or hats.
Give the number out again, Claire. This is going to be brilliant.
This is going to be great.
Take this one. Take this one.
08700 800 1234.
Just comedy observations.
Yeah, stuff you thought of. Wacky stuff you thought of. Just tell us what stuff you come up with. Get the Sony people on the phone. This is dynamite.
Suede. Positivity.
Absolutely.
They could always do a good chorus, couldn't they?
They could indeed.
I think we could play Pink. Is that really way out? You're saying that it'd
Pink?
be wrong?
You can't play Pink.
I like that new one.
Yeah, but whether or not it's in the building.
Up, so
no,
you
not that one.
Get the party started. Do you know who that's written by? Do you know who that's written by?
I'm trying to call the nurse, but she's being a little bitch.
This is a little bit interesting. You know, let's get the party started. I'm coming up.
Yeah.
You know who that's written by?
Well, the way you say it sounds a bit like, is it Radiohead?
Tom York, you're thinking? No.
No.
Let's get the party started. I'm
coming up.
I'm coming up. Careful, I'm coming up. Let's get the party started.
I'll have one more guess. Is it Johnny Rotten?
It's not Johnny Rotten, but this is the truth. It's written by that woman with the goggles and the big hat that used to be in Four Non Blondes.
Is it?
It's written by her.
You're not thinking of Snork, are you?
No.
Banana Splits.
No, I oft got the two confused.
Yeah.
But, no.
Sorry, goggle and the big hat.
She had a big hat, didn't she? And a pair of goggles
exactly
and kind of sort of a sort of Jippo look about her.
What do you mean goggles? You can't say Jippo. What do you mean goggles?
What's the correct word to say?
Goggles.
Gypsy. Jippo is, it's a terrible derogatory term. It's like...
Well, she looked like some kind of scrounger, and she sort of had like matted dreadlocks, and
selling clothes pegs.
Listen. Lucky Heather.
Yeah.
She had a big leather hat.
Do you remember when you got stopped with Lucky Heather and you didn't buy it? Then you had some bad luck.
I had some bad luck about 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
So I always stop and buy some now.
So hold on,
I've got shed loads of it at home. Because I don't know when you've got to throw it away. They don't tell you how long you've got to keep it for the good luck.
6th of January.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, keeping it after that's bad luck. I'm getting confused again, aren't I?
No, what it was...
I don't know which myth to believe in.
Right, stop it. Let's go back to, I've got a party started.
So when are you coming up?
Yeah. That is, as I say...
Fleagle,
is that her name?
No, that's one of the Banana Splits.
Now you confuse me.
Fleagle's the one with the big teeth and the goggles.
Right.
Snork is the one with basically. To be honest, I think it's an elephant.
Okay.
I think they've pretended they've made up an animal.
There's so many people listening who don't know who the Banana Splits are.
The Banana Splits.
The Banana Splits.
Right. Listen, yes, they know the Banana Splits are, and even people under 20 know. Like, Snork, Fleagle, Drooper. Who was the other one?
If you can remember the name of
what's the number? Because I actually want to know this. This is what radio's for. When I can't think of something, they tell me.
Yeah. So
it's 08700 800 1234.
Drooper and Snork.
I've no idea.
God. Fleagle, Drooper and Snork. Da-da, da-da, Drooper and Snork, Fleagle. Bingo!
Nice, well done, don't bother calling.
Sorry.
That particular, tragedy, or that has been avoided.
Bingo. I don't know what bingo looks like. Yeah. There was one, there was one that had sewn up eyes. Drooper, I think. Sorry, go on.
No, anyway, my point was this.
Go on. Pink.
Oh, I can't be bothered.
No, really?
I can't be bothered.
I think we can play that new one by Pink.
You cannot
sort of
play Pink.
Why? Because it's too poppy.
They just won't allow Pink on XFM.
They what?
They will not allow Pink on XFM.
They what?
Wait a minute, that's red rag to a bull. Someone's telling you that you can't do something. That's crazy. Right, let's also get the new Justin Timberlake single.
Well, the thing is, Ricky, you're gonna have to nip down and have a word with Foxy, because we haven't got it up here.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he'll have it.
Can't you call someone at Capital Radio?
Well, yeah,
can we call some? What's that one by Busted? That's what I go to school for.
What about Abs?
Dynamite. Abs, the new one from Abs. Dynamite.
Yeah. Well, play a record and we'll discuss this Pink thing.
Would you want a bit of Cat?
Oh, Cat Stevens.
Yeah?
Yeah, Cat's Bullet 4. This is Sittings. Lovely. Piano and everything, isn't it?
Oh, this was the tune we were originally going to use as the theme music for TV's The Office. That starts again on Monday, I think.
Just play it. Cat Stevens and Sitting.
I couldn't find Pink, Rick, but I've got the S Club Juniors. What do you think?
Pink is alright.
Magic
Just because it hasn't got the credibility of, like, new punk and new metal, it's a good tune. It's alright. We've never been snobby. We've never worried about credibility, have we?
Hearsay? They're all down there, I can go and get them.
I'll tell you what, if you're gonna do that, I'm just gonna play adverts from now on. Can we play some adverts? Supergrass. Grace on XFM 104.9. I've been forgetting to say that.
Yes.
It's all gone to pot, isn't it? I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant.
Hello there.
Little Carl's not here. Claire Sturgis is here.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Yeah.
Cracking. Yeah.
Now, I think we can play Pink, you know.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be responsible for it.
No?
I mean, I don't have a problem particularly with the lady. You know, she's made a good effort with it, and I think, but apparently it's either number one or it's likely to be number one this week. So
it's not that rebellious.
It's not particularly rebellious.
No,
but I don't know. I mean, what worries me is that whether the audience will turn against you, and that you'll lose all musical credibility.
Have I got any?
No,
did I have any?
Very little.
Really?
I had an email just now, and I think maybe this answers why we didn't get very many calls about the give us a crazy band name or an album title.
Think about the number?
No. They think maybe they're all at the march, the big march, which makes a lot of sense because I would imagine a lot of the sort of losers that listen to our show.
What's the march?
Probably also agree that they should go and protest about a war.
Oh, it's the anti-war march, yeah.
It's against the war.
So, well, I don't really know the ins and outs of this whole thing, really. I mean, it sounds like it's a long way away.
I suppose it's like, yeah. They were asked if they wanted a war, and they said no. Is that so bad, Steve?
Yeah. No, I mean, good luck to him. I don't think he's going to have much effect, to be honest.
You don't think?
No, I don't really believe in all that. I don't think he's worried in the slightest. A couple of sort of dropouts and some sort of junkies are in the streets, you know.
Well, you say that, but what's their names? Specials, Free Nelson Mandela. 8 years later, he was out.
That's true enough.
So
that's absolute. I forgot about that.
I think they were. Yeah.
And Live Aid sorted out world hunger.
Yeah, that was done.
So that was. But I see the difference there is
Ebony and Ivory, no more racism now.
But musicians...
That was done.
Rick, you see musicians were involved there. Yeah. I don't think any musicians are involved this time. I think David Albarn's there.
They've probably taken their bongos and their didgeridoos. You can see they're walking down now, loads of ponchos.
Yeah.
You were going to wear a poncho once, 'cause you thought it'd make you more of a hit with the ladies, weren't you?
Oh, but they're so now, ponchos. In Topshop, they are so now.
So you'd have been ahead of your time.
As ever.
You see, I think if you wait a couple of years, those clogs will be in.
Exactly. This is what I'm hoping.
What
about this pipe? I like to think that the pipe is definitely on the way back at some point. The pipe's got to come back. What do you think of a lady, sorry, as a lady, what do you think of a man who smokes a pipe?
I think it's lovely.
Do you think it's quite sexy?
Very sexy, yeah.
Because I think it's quite
I wouldn't want to snog
It takes your breath away. What?
Because I've given up smoking, Steve.
Yeah, it takes...
Well, I won't be giving you a blowback. I don't know what that phrase is, Rick. I gambled with that phrase. I don't know if a blowback... I think that could be obscene. I've got no idea what a blowback is.
No, I think it is very, very sexy in a sort of a Val Dunican kind of way.
He never smoked a pipe.
Did
he not?
No, he smoked a goat.
Oh, right.
Well, he sang about smoking a goat. About Paddy McGuinness goat. It blew up.
If you look at pictures of the great sort of thinkers of our time, and, you know, maybe they're at college or university in the sort of 1930s, you got those great, you know, the great thing of people who became the great artists of our century, and you see pictures of them in Oxbridge when they're 19, they're all smoking pipes in tweed suits.
Yeah.
No young people now are smoking pipes. I fear that it's going to be dead in like 15 years. I don't think anyone's going to be smoking pipes.
But I think, again,
I feel like maybe it's me with a certain profile, maybe I've got to try and bring it back.
Bring it back. I think
you know,
so.
then we could be seeing kids in Top Shop on a Saturday.
And let's not forget sniffing snuff.
Some snuff.
My nan used to sit there with 2 brown stains just dribbling from her nose.
Lovely.
And that bit of snuff and some gin.
Well, this is it. Because my friend always said if he won millions of pounds, he'd spend it all trying to bring back as a fashion accessory the cape.
The cape?
Because I think the cape.
Quite like
because you can make such an entrance with the cape.
And a cane.
A cape and a cane, yeah, and a top hat. I wish people had to wear hats now.
I couldn't carry it off because of my shape and size. I look like Bertie Bassett. Whereas you'd look Basil Rathbone.
I'd look pretty good at all sort of Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Wow. You would.
But I'd sweep into a room, you know,
I know.
bellow
See, I think you look like, and don't get this wrong, don't take this wrong, like, we're mates. I think you look like a freak with a cape on.
Okay. So, alright, well.
And at which point would you take it one step further and add the deerstalker, you know, and go the whole Sherlock Holmes route?
I'd have the cape, the pipe, the deerstalker, and I'd solve crimes.
It'd be great. It'd look like, some sort
You could be my fat companion.
I could be, sort of like get padding and stuff. Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah.
I'd like to solve more crimes, if I'm being truthful.
I would love to solve crimes.
Just to solve one crime would be great.
I wouldn't matter if I solved it. If the police came to me and said, I'd just look at the first bit, I'd go in.
Yeah.
Just get it off the streets, you know what I mean? Just like, tick, done that.
Sure, yeah. But I just feel there'd be something, I feel like maybe because you know, like in TV shows, it always used to be, you know, they were a doctor who also solved crimes, they were a plumber, they solved crimes.
Quincy.
You know,
yeah.
But, you know, a couple of sort of BAFTA-winning writers,
what did Heart to Heart
also
do?
solve crimes. That'd
be good,
that'd be great.
What did Heart to Heart do? They were just millionaires.
They were just a millionaire couple who would invariably you know, what was the Murder She Wrote?
They did that every week, though. Every week, Heart to Heart.
Murder She Wrote. She wrote it and she solved it.
She always solved it.
It's brilliant. Murder She Did wouldn't have been such a good sort of thing. No.
But this is what you don't seem to get that anymore. You know, people who do one job for a living. You know, DJ who also solves crimes. The DJ who solved crime, that was Shoestring.
Was he a DJ?
Yeah.
He was a private ear, wasn't he? He was a private ear on the radio.
Is that what the thing they did?
Not private eye, private ear.
Is that what they said?
Yeah.
And how did he solve it? He worked out clues for call-ins and stuff.
Yeah.
No, he used to leave the building. He didn't just sit there and play records and then try and guess.
That's great!
Give us a call on the usual number if you've got any idea who murdered.
Now it's Snitch Hour. Got a letter here. Who reckons she knows?
I know a lot of my friends are big fans of Midnight Caller. Do you remember Midnight Caller? Was he a DJ who solved crimes?
Yeah, it was one of those late night things in America, wasn't it?
But was he a DJ? He solved crimes, didn't he?
I don't know if he'd solved crimes or just solved...
If you've ever solved a crime, email us.
Puzzles. He had one of those puzzler books. Weren't you on the front cover of Puzzler once? One of those things you get. Weren't you?
Puzzler.
Were you? Was I?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it was your other friend who was a
mine,
DJ,
it was Puzzler magazine.
That's it, yeah.
So was Puzzler a rude thing?
No, it's one of those things that you
those puzzle books you can buy.
Actually, it's a puzzler.
You do for coach journeys, and they just put people's pictures on without permission.
Yeah.
I don't think they're just like, well, I didn't give permission. They just find like celebrities, and they just get their picture and they stick them on the front.
Well, they would have used me then, would they?
Well, I forgot. I didn't. Hey, Pink.
Should we play Pink?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't live by the rules.
Be on your head. Here we go.
That was the Strokes and kids are mental.
Yeah. No, you're all right.
No, shut up.
No, the thing is, I think if we'd introduced that as just, and we didn't mention who it was, and we just said this is the new one from one of those trendy new bands, you know, the Boomtown Rats. then I'm sure these listeners would have happily accepted it. As it was, they knew it was Pink, and the phone lines have gone crazy. We had upwards of 2 calls. I'll tell you this, we had between 2 and 4 calls. And they've not enjoyed it.
Why do we do this show? We don't need to do this show.
Because you love us.
We could be on Radio 1.
Oh man,
we could be on Radio 2, probably. Yeah. I don't know. Virgin, I think, called once.
Yeah. Someone's just emailed, they just said, Pink sounds like Run for the Sun by Bucks Fizz. I can see what they're thinking. I can see what they're thinking.
What do they want then?
Well, yes.
Okay, what's the phone number again?
You know what people like? I never understand who phones already. Who tries? It took us like 2 hours to fail to get through to Chris Moyles. People will phone radio stations. Can you please play the new one by The Strokes? You just buy it, or you'll have the album. Why have you got to hear it on the radio? What difference does that make? Some guy talks at the end and the beginning of it, partially ruins the song. I can't understand who phones up for a request.
We're really alienating our listeners now, aren't we?
Nice
We're going, we don't care what you think, go and buy it. We're going to play what we want and we don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not being particularly funny or interesting. We haven't even got that to fall back on.
I'll tell you what it is, Rick, arrogance.
Laziness.
When you've got a hit TV show on your hand and you've won the awards and you're making the kind of money that you are at those massive corporate gigs.
Yeah.
Where they're paying you thousands of pounds to turn up for 10 minutes. You don't need this.
I mean,
Steve, don't you get that then?
I'm afraid I don't, Claire.
We carved it up early on that Steve would not be making the sort of money that I would.
Yes.
And he shook on that.
That was written contractually.
Yeah. So I think.
So you did shake on that.
Oh yes.
It would be horrible to go back. I don't think he realised quite the difference.
Yeah.
But
the
you know,
huge success.
I don't think he'd want me to Welsh on it.
Right.
I don't think he'd be happy with himself if I gave him any.
I couldn't live with myself if you gave me some of that cash.
Well, what should we play then? What should we play? Should we play the Strokes or something?
Playing the Strokes.
Go on then. That's
Oh, thank God for that.
Electric Soft Parade. Same way every day. Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
Do you mean me or the listener?
The listener.
Sure.
Is it what? So they didn't like. So they want good music. They see.
Apparently, Rick. They would prefer good music to.
They want good music, do they? Are you sure they want good music?
They appear to want good music, Rick. Why? Hang on, wait a minute. What are you thinking?
I'm going to think of playing a really good record next.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
No. They've wound me up now. They want good music. They don't right. So I will do a little deal with them.
Okay.
I will play them a fantastic piece of music. As long as they promise to turn the stereo up to number 10.
Wee. What about the neighbours, Rick? Think about the neighbours.
What, you think they'll annoy the neighbours?
They may
Steve, maybe I want them to annoy the neighbours.
Wait a minute. Rick, you know what that was?
What?
It's the sound of the rule book being torn up.
Yes! Yeah.
Rick.
Yeah, you think I'm playing with fire?
It sounds like it.
Maybe I like getting burned.
Oh, careful, Rick, careful. Because you could scold your hands, but what about your elbows? I wish I knew what that meant. I didn't really think that through.
This is a great piece of music by one of the greatest bands ever. Okay, it's one of their best songs.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, it is long.
It's a long tune.
Well, you know what?
What, you can't handle that?
You can't. You don't want 8 minutes of
you
The
don't want
Who.
8 minutes of cracking music?
Yeah, listen to this.
Please switch off your radio.
No, seriously, turn the radio up. Crank it up. Go.
Rock it up.
That makes up for Pink, doesn't it?
Oh, man alive. Oh,
it's an amazing track.
It's incredible.
It is. I mean. Incredible.
It's textbook rock and roll.
But when I was growing up, I had two favourite lyrics all the time, and one of them's in there, meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
Yeah, it sends a shiver down your spine.
It's fantastic. And the other one was, it's on America's tortured brow that Mickey Mouse has grown up a cow.
Nice.
Do you know that is?
Nice. Who?
Got a phone in, this would be a competition. What should we give away?
Office.
We haven't got any, have we?
Why don't you just sign your signature on a piece of paper or something? That's got to be worth something in a couple of years.
£4.
Yeah.
£4 you get on eBay.
It would cheapen the piece of paper.
Yeah, not if it's a rubbish bit of paper.
I've had an email
which I probably would sign.
There's an email here from Davey Monroe.
Look, it's lit up. No, wait a minute. Look at that.
Oh my God.
They've gone mad. They answer it. Put them live.
Oh.
They might know the answer.
Hang on.
We'll give them some. We'll give them some CDs.
How do you put it live?
Why do you figure that out? Let me just read this email.
Go on.
If you're having to play, it says here, if you're having to play extra ad breaks and 8-minute long songs, it just goes to show who provides all the material for that radio show of yours. Did Karl secretly write The Office as well? And I think to myself, it's like, what do you want from us?
Just see if someone's on the
One of the
phone.
most incredible rock and roll tunes ever laid down on vinyl, and you're whinging?
I know.
Because you'd rather have our inane banter. What kind of a person are you?
No, they'd rather have Karl's inane
Well,
banter.
clearly.
Don't big your roll up. They don't want us at all, Steve.
I've just had a phone call from a very nice girl saying, where's Karl? I said, well, you know, he's back next week. What's wrong with me? She went, no, you're lovely, Claire, but Karl calms the other two down.
Sure.
Really?
Can we just see if someone's on the phone?
Yeah,
Is
go on
anyone
then.
there?
Right, what are we going to give them? We're going to give them some CDs or something. Well, take the name. Right.
Anyone there? Hello?
Hello?
Oh, God, there's someone there.
Oh, I've got to put my headphones on.
Oh, hang on. Oh,
what was the lyric again?
Stay there, please.
Alright.
It's on America's tortured brow that Mickey Mouse has grown up a cow.
Life on Mars. David.
Life on Mars, David Bowie. It's easy as that.
He.
What's your name?
It's John Ball.
John Ball.
John, I'll be honest with you, we got nothing. We got nothing to give you.
It's not good enough.
No, we'll get him some. We'll give him an office CD.
It doesn't. We can't keep doing that, Rick. It's
We've got
pathetic.
nothing else.
Yes,
They
you
don't give us anything, do they? They don't. It's a wonder we get into the building. No one's around on Saturdays. No one cares.
Office DVD.
Yeah,
What would you really like, though, if you could have anything?
Yeah, Office DVD.
See?
There you go.
enough, fair
Brilliant. Okay.
Stay on the line, mate, and I'll get you details, okay?
Excellent. That was a competition. That was like real radio.
Well done.
It was like real radio. Now we've got to play David Bowie, haven't we? That's what they
Calm
do.
down, Rick, I can see what you mean.
No, but Foxy would have it
Well,
lined up.
Rick, you're gonna have a heart attack.
Am I?
Live on air. I mean, it'll be dramatic radio, and that's Sony award winning. I know that. I seem to remember when Tony Blackburn had his breakdown on there. I think did he win awards for that? I mean, it was pretty impressive stuff. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, what breakdown award?
Have a breakdown. Yeah,
excellent.
This year's best breakdown on radio.
Tony Blackburn.
Yeah, but
or Tessa, marry me.
Yeah, it was something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He played the same song again and again and again. Must be fascinating radio. That sounds like Capital Now.
Oh, satire.
High five.
Nice
We've done there.
Oh, well done. Well done.
Are we owned by Capital?
You've got, remember what happened last time?
Sure.
And now Richard Park, who owned Capital, is the Grandmaster. What?
The Grandmaster?
He's a grandfather. No, he's a headmaster of Fame Academy.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay, let's play a record now, because you have to lie down, because you're just getting so worked up and now. I can tell when there's an excitement and enthusiasm, and sweat, beads of sweat run down your brow.
Well, it started off so badly, we had nothing, but then I did a competition, gave away some things. You've got an email that really annoyed you, haven't you?
Well, we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, whenever I see beads of sweat, I know, because that's not the Ricky Gervais I know.
Okay.
It worries me. You never work yourself up into any kind of sweat.
Okay,
so you need to
let's
just
play
chill
it.
out, calm down.
We're going so well now, aren't we? What about a bit of Beck?
Let's play a lovely bit of Beck, just to chill everything out, just calm everything down.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, relax.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you are,
Yeah.
Steve, he's gone.
Yeah. Beck. Beautiful, that.
Good tune.
Brilliant.
Good tune. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Lost Cause, XFM 104.9. It's going well, isn't it?
Oh, I'm loving it.
Right, let's do something else then. Adverts.
Adverts, I'd love to hear some adverts.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
There it is. Life on Mars, with that great lyric by David Bowie.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Although, it's not quite as good as, what was the one, was it Jeff Lynne? The chances of anything coming from Mars are a million to one, and yet they come.
Yeah, and still they come.
And still they come.
I wonder what you get. Would you get that at Ladbrokes?
I'd like to
a million to one.
But it's a million to one and still they come, Claire.
Yeah,
and still they come.
They didn't know the odds. They go, what are you doing? It's a million to one. It's what?
Some guy
There's a million to one on you. We should have put that on. We didn't. You didn't tell me you were coming.
Notified us. We could have split it 50-50. I could have made
fiddled it a little bit. I could have gone, wow. I could have probably got them up to a million and a half.
Gorg, what were
now
you
you're here. We're never going to get good odds.
Oh, Gorg, the chances of that. The chances of that happening were a million to one.
What have you come for? They've probably come for that.
Well, why didn't you sneak in?
They've come for that quash drink, haven't they, again?
You could have snuck down.
What are
you
you
could have
doing?
let us know and flown back and then made another.
You know that fella? We come for that drink you call quash. I bet he'd get off with Snork. Wouldn't he? He'd meet
Are you thinking of weird stuff again? You're thinking of crazy ideas again. What about those Smash aliens? What, you got something on them, have you?
Yeah. You know, they went out, right, without an umbrella.
Oh.
Poured down.
It rained, I knew it would.
Yeah.
I knew it would.
Anyway.
Oh, anyway, David Bowie,
No,
beautiful.
this is spiralling. Can I just mention Lynn, who's just phoned, because she was queuing up all night outside the Apollo for Bowie tickets, and she got a pair, so she's dead happy. Can you dedicate that to everyone who's queuing up? So
Yeah. Best of luck to them.
And I wanted to tell you about the time Bowie came into XFM to talk to Zoe Ball.
David came in, did he? Was this recently?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I'm not going to mention her name. She works in the office, Charlotte. When he walked by her desk, which you have to do when you come to the studio, she didn't actually meet him, shake his hands, or make eye contact, but she actually cried because he was in her vicinity.
Really?
And she actually burst into tears when he walked by. Isn't
Rick,
that?
I've made women do that. So, you know.
You've got something in common.
Well, a little something in common with David Bowie.
They whimper and weep when you're on. You know what I mean? It's sort of like.
There's a lot more screeching as well.
Yeah.
A lot of screaming.
Tell them about that email you just got. Right, I've got to tell I nearly said the fans! People who happen to be listening to XFM waiting for the person after us. Who's on next?
Natasha's not with the football show.
Right, Steve was genuinely annoyed. I laughed, right? Steve was genuinely annoyed. He doesn't like rudeness or people insulting him from a distance.
I'm not sure I can find it.
Oh, what was it? Oh, you got to find it.
Well, hang on, let me,
Oh, hang on.
This is good radio as well, the sound of a mouse clicking in the distance. I'll just keep talking. I'll just keep talking.
You can come up with some magic.
What was Scooby-Doo on about? A talking dog? That's a bit weird, isn't it? What is that? And then, right, what was that? Wacky Races? I don't know if... Oh, no, wait a minute. So why did they run, the cavemen, if they... the car?
I've got it. I've got it.
Right.
Okay, this is an email. This is an email that was sent through.
Right.
And this is my feeling. I think if you're going to email an insult, you've got to at least be clear what the insult is. You can't make me do the work. You can't make me try and guess or figure out.
No, it's like sending someone hate mail and they have to pay postage.
Yeah, exactly.
You go, well, if you're gonna,
exactly. Or making an obscene phone call, but collect.
The postman asks you 25p before he hands you a letter bomb.
Yeah.
Go on.
It says, Merchant. It opens with Merchant. Who are you call sad, exclamation mark. At least my mother still don't cut my hair. Merchant. Who are you call sad? At least my mother still don't cut my hair.
Is it an anagram?
I don't know. I feel like it's been translated from the French.
Yeah. It's a Japanese fella who hates you.
Exactly.
And he's got a Japanese English dictionary. It's just literal. So, how does he know your mum cut your hair then? You've never said that on there, have you?
It's not true, Gervais.
Can I just say, I think your hair looks really nice, Tim. I've known you for about 5 years now, and it looks lovely.
I laughed at you needing someone to say it. It looks fine. Yeah, it looks good.
What do you mean it looks fine?
It does look good. It looks good. He's got a little bit of product on it, hasn't he?
Yes.
Maybe I have.
A little bit of hair gel.
Maybe Gavin had his fingers all over it yesterday. Yeah, I have my hair cut by Gavin of West Hampstead.
Is it called? Is what it's called, Gavin? Or is he a bloke who works in?
It's a Gavin who works in.
Do you use that fudge stuff?
Sorry, no. But seriously,
I use a form of clay, a moulding clay.
Yeah, that's
Gavin recommended it. Yeah. Gavin recommended it, and I've been very happy so far.
Hold on, though.
Rick, what do you use?
I don't.
Yeah.
Don't. I just sort of.
Well, that's obvious.
No, I just sort of like comb it back and whatever way it falls, really.
Yeah. You had more questions about Gavin?
Yeah, no.
I was up seeing Gavin yesterday, just having a haircut. There's nothing untoward. and I thought I popped past Habitat. There's a Habitat, and it's quite a trendy kind of, designer furniture shop or whatever.
Sure.
And after I popped in there, I thought I'll pick up the sort of brochure, the catalogue. There was a big stack of the new catalogue.
You were stunned by the prices you're gonna tell me, aren't you?
No, I'll tell you what, I was about walking out with the guy went, hey, where are you going with the hair? It's a great looking haircut, but where are you going with that catalogue? I went, what do you mean? He went, it's £2. You've got to pay £2 for a catalogue from Habitat. And I said, well, I could go down to Argos, I can get as many as I want for free. I can go crazy in Argos, I can get them Littlewoods, the mail order people, they'll send it to my home.
Yeah.
I gotta pay there's lingerie in that one. You know, you've just got like some furniture and stuff. And I'm paying £2 from it. If there were some ladies draped over the kind of filing cabinets, I'd be interested. I'd pay £2.
The fact that you. Then what did you say? That you didn't say I can go down to Argos and get as many as I like. What did you say?
Yeah, I did. I said, well, what are you talking about? This is, why am I paying
That is a bit weird charging for a catalogue.
But this is a catalogue just to tell me what I might want to buy.
It's sort of their calling card. It's like paying for a poster or a sticker.
Exactly. It's almost like paying an entrance fee to go into the shop.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
It's a good idea.
Because it's good to just walk around and browse. So, I mean, I'd pay £1 to walk around a really good shop.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this, if Habitat maybe had some kind of, like, sort of centrefold.
Why don't you do this?
I'd be interested.
I'll tell you what, in a great shop like Habitat, you pay £1, right? If you buy anything, that comes off the thing. If you don't buy anything, you've paid £1, stop wasting their time.
It's an incentive to buy.
I wouldn't like it.
Sure.
I wouldn't go in there. I think it's a terrible idea.
Well, anyway, that's
what should we play?
That was a sideways look at the world of high street shops.
I think you should play the award-winning Ms. Dynamite.
Yeah,
go on.
She's cracking.
Yeah. Ms. Dynamite. Good, that, isn't it?
It's cracking. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. Mercury award-winning.
Absolutely.
Well done.
Yeah, good luck to her. Good luck to her.
I must admit, I wanted the Streets, but she's a very good second choice, and you know, wish her all the luck in the world.
All the luck in the world.
I'm looking at your hair.
It's not bad, is it?
And you have bigged it up, so you're quite. So I assume you didn't go to a barber. You've gone. This is
a hairdresser's. This is Gavin of West.
Okay, I'm going to ask you now, right? And I'm not going to take the mickey, even if it's £100. I'd think you're a fool, and I know you wouldn't pay that much. But it's obviously more than the £5 then, isn't it? How much did you pay?
Ricky Gervais, for this haircut, I paid the princely sum, and I was proud of it. 22 notes. But
that's all right.
But I went up to 24 because I was pleased with what I had. Little tip for him.
£2 tip.
£2 tip. I could have just given him one of those Habitat catalogues. He'd have been pleased with that.
I love
just slap that on the desk.
Yeah, and he'd have gone, thanks very much. And you'd have to go, I'm going to be honest, Gavin. That is not free.
Exactly.
If that had been an Argos catalogue, then throw me out of it with an insult.
Exactly.
Look at the price. Go £2. Yeah. That £2 is yours.
That's yours. You're taking that home.
Would you prefer the money? What should we do?
Yeah.
We're usually play a new one around this time. What new adverts have we got?
Plenty here.
Oh, come on,
come on. Are you in any?
No.
Badly drawn boy. I imagine that's starting a British film. Do you know what I mean? They're jumping on a London bus and they're going around London.
Well, of course, the film about a boy, he did the soundtrack for. So if you were a little bit more up on films and stuff, you'd have already known that idea's been done, and you wouldn't have embarrassed yourself, and there wouldn't be egg on all our faces.
Oh,
but thanks very much.
Sorry about that, I'm eating. I'm very messy, aren't I?
Yeah.
What have you got, Steve? What have you got for
Rick,
me?
I'm glad you've asked. Thanks for asking. This is a Stevie Wonder track. Now, I hope people aren't as offended by Stevie as they were by Pink.
I'm sure they won't be.
I mean, for goodness sake, he's one of 20th century's greatest artists.
Yeah.
This is from an album, not one of his more famous, Fulfillingness's first finale.
Yeah.
And this is a track called You Haven't Done Nothing. But Rick, here's a little quiz for you, a little pop quiz for you.
Oh.
There is a very famous backing vocal group here. I mean, they were famous in their own right, but here they're doing backing vocals. I'd like you to identify them. And there's an Office DVD winging its way to you, Ricky, if you can spot who it is.
Right, okay, the pressure's on.
Oh, magnificent. Do you not enjoy that?
Excellent,
Yeah,
fantastic.
Stevie Wonder, You Haven't Done Nothing from Fulfillingness's first finale. It's quite tricky, that, the backing vocals. They're not particularly prominent,
well,
are they?
And it could be anywhere, so I'll just go for someone that's a vocal group with, I don't know, is it obvious, or is
It's
it...
very obvious.
What, that it would be, that they would back him?
It's not obvious that they would back him, but it's obvious that, I mean, they are huge stars, or they were huge stars.
And what is, what's those, what, mid-70s? Early 70s?
Talking mid-70s. 1974 is the album. There's an Office DVD winging its way.
Not the Jackson 5, or
It's the
something like
Jackson 5.
Is it really?
There they are, well done.
Well, there you go.
Are, yeah. I mean, that's how big Stevie was, that he could ask the Jackson 5 just to stroll in.
There you go.
With some fairly
See?
nondescript backing vocals. Good stuff.
First album I ever got, Jackson 5.
Was it? Which one?
It was the one with Rockin' Robin on it.
Nice. Did you rock to that? I imagine you did.
I walked
Grooved around to that. How old were you? What walking? 18?
I was about, I suppose, I don't know, 11 or 12, and I had one of those little cassette players when you had to press down play and and it had a little handle that came out.
They're brilliant, yeah.
And I had one CD with it.
Well, one tape.
One tape, yeah.
Sure. And you bought it yourself, did you? Or
No,
did you-
that was a Christmas present.
Lovely. Lovely.
Yeah.
And that was the only one you had for, like, I imagine, like a year or something. Just
Well,
that one
it's-
tape,
yeah,
endlessly played.
until I-
What was
yeah.
your first record purchase?
It was
Virgin?
a Disco Fever compilation. Well, actually called Disco Fever, and I got it because I loved Yes
Wait a
Sir,
minute.
I Can
What, are you
Boogie.
embarrassed about having your mobile on, or what?
Something's
what's
vibrating, and I'm assuming
Sorry.
it's a mobile.
Oh, so it's my boyfriend. Oh. I did turn the ringer off. Oh, sorry.
So what, is a Disco Fever compilation?
Yeah, featuring Baccarat, Yes Sir, I Can Boogie.
Cracking.
Yeah.
And Space Float On, I think, which is what I want. What I wanted.
Float On, that
yeah,
one?
that's one. Yeah,
That's the Floaters, isn't it?
The Floaters.
Yeah.
yeah. Always made me laugh.
Larry.
Yeah.
My name's...
I don't know.
Magic Fly by Space.
Oh, right.
Do you remember that
no,
one?
I don't.
No, yeah.
No.
I don't know if my first purchase is cool or not, really, because I suppose it seems like it is. It was the greatest hits of the Stranglers.
That is so
we're
cool.
talking
Are the Stranglers
different-
quite cool?
That's
Yeah.
scary, because, I finished school by the time that came out. I think that's scary. The Greatest of the Stranglers. No, I was
I
never
think
a
that's more to
Stranglers
do with the
fan.
fact that my parents didn't have any records in the house. They had, I think they had the Jeff Love Orchestra plays big war theme tunes. I don't think everyone had. They had one of those Top of the Pops albums with a woman wearing a neckerchief on the cover.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. And the 1812 Overture, you know, played
I
on
had
the
one of
fiddle or
those.
something.
I had one of those with Mozart's 40th on it, because that was released at the time.
Oh, that wasn't obviously Mozart's 40th birthday. That'd have been a wild swing.
I'm not
If he'd
that
made
old.
it that far, that'd have been a wild
that'd have
night.
been great,
I'd love to hear
wouldn't
that on record.
How old was he when he died?
He was quite young, wasn't he?
I didn't live long that
18
time, did I?
or something? He was a genius.
No.
He was a boy wonder.
Yeah,
He was a boy wonder.
He grew
But
up.
what people don't realise-
It was like Ali Jones. It was
What a
all
lot-
over by the time he was 11.
What a lot of people don't realise about Mozart was that he also, in his spare time, used to solve crimes. Yeah, that was why he was so. That was what musical crimes. He was concerned,
Oh, we've come
plagiarism
full
issues, things
circle
like that.
now,
We have
haven't we?
indeed. We've
Yeah,
brought that
yeah.
right back. We
Actually, I hate to interrupt you, boys,
Go
but
on,
we
so near
have
the
got
end.
to squeeze one more song in
Gotta wrap
before
it up, have we?
Well,
yeah,
well,
break.
what should we do? What should we have?
What have we got there, Claire?
Well,
we
I've-
thought this through.
I've got this one I want to play you. I want
What is
to
it
do
you wanna play?
by
What is
the
it?
Electric Six.
It better be good, because if you end a show with it, I mean, we've had lots of faux pas
This
and really
is
bad
going to
bits.
be possibly the biggest song of 2003.
You think so?
Rick?
Go on then.
Man
Yeah.
alive.
Electric
So this is it.
Six.
Thanks very much indeed, Claire, for
Cheers,
coming down.
thank you.
No, it's a
been
pleasure.
No, it really
Is
was
Carl
good
back
fun.
next week?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, just he doesn't care, does he?
Yeah.
Can we just quickly say, so you're on Parkinson tonight then, Ricky, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And the office starts, what is it, Monday?
This is easier, this, isn't it? And there's a DVD winging its way.
Yay!
I guess I do want one.
See you next week.